Tammy, you ready?
Thank you so much.
We will be starting in just about a minute or two, if everyone can find a seat. To the City of Boynton Beach City Commission meeting. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2026, and the time is 6:02. We will now turn to the city clerk for the roll call, please.
Mayor Shelton,
Present.
Commissioner Kelly,
Here.
Commissioner Cruz,
Present.
Vice Mayor Woodrow Hay,
Present.
Commissioner Turkin.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Tammy. Our invocation tonight will be by Commissioner, or should I say Vice Mayor Hay, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner Turkin. Let's all stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, Lord, you have been our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, and for that we say thank you. Father, on this meaningful occasion, as I offer this invocation prayer for the final time as Vice Mayor, I pause to give you praise for the privilege of serving this great city of Boynton Beach and these wonderful people. Thank you for every lesson learned, every challenge overcome, and every victory achieved for the good of our community. Now, Lord, I lift up the mayor, our vice mayor to be, the new commissioner who will step into this seat because of term limits, and to all the commissioners who continue to carry the responsibility of leadership in this city. Grant them wisdom to make sound decisions, courage to do what is right, and compassion to serve every resident with fairness and integrity. Guide them, O Lord, to move this city forward in a positive direction, to build stronger neighborhoods, safer streets, thriving businesses, and opportunities for every child, every family, and every senior citizen. Help them to work together in unity, to listen with respect, and to lead with vision for the future of Boynton Beach. Lord, remind them that leadership is not about power, but about service. Not about position, but about purpose. Strengthen their hands for the work that's ahead. Sturdy their minds for the difficulty that they must face. And keep their hearts focused on the common good of all people. Now, Lord, as I transition from this role because of term limits, I place this city into your loving care, trusting that the work will continue, the progress will move forward, and the best days of Boynton Beach are still ahead. We thank you, we trust you, and we dedicate this meeting and this city to your guidance and your peace. For it is in the matchless, marvelous, magnificent hand of the righteous name of Jesus the Christ that I do pray and ask it all. Let every heart say amen, 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 and amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are now moving on to the agenda approval, additions, deletions, and corrections. Let's begin on my left with Commissioner Turkin.
Yes, Chair, I believe I'd like to move up these proclamations, and then also if we could conjoin the plaque for Commissioner Hay in conjunction with the proclamation that I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm not going to say like Commissioner McCray would like to present. I think that would be a little bit more uniformed and present them at the same time.
Okay.
And then maybe allow some comments from the dais, at least for me, regarding Commissioner Hayes' transition, and then Commissioner Kelly and Commissioner McCray's reelection.
Got it. Commissioner Lee?
I do not have any.
No,
Thank you.
I do not have any changes. It's been already stated.
Second.
Okay, good. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Moving on to the procs. The first announcement will be a proclamation for Florida Bicycle Month, read by Commissioner Kelly. Brian Rusher, Palm Beach MPO Deputy Director of Multimodal, will be accepting the proclamation. Please go ahead, Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas City of Boynton Beach residents and visitors engage in bicycling as a viable and environmentally sound form of transportation and an excellent form of physical activity and recreation, and whereas the City of Boynton Beach is committed to improving the accessibility, connectivity, and safety of non-motorized transportation throughout the city, and whereas the state of Florida officially recognizes March as Bicycle Month, and whereas Florida Bicycle Month features a number of fitness opportunities and events for riders of all ages to enjoy throughout the month at various parks and locations throughout Palm Beach County. And whereas the Palm Beach Transportation Planning Agency, now the Metropolitan Planning Organization, plans and recommends projects to make bicycling more accessible and promotes comprehensive community education efforts aimed at improving bicycle safety through the palmbeach.org website. And whereas through these efforts, Palm Beach County now has over 255 miles of designated bicycle facilities with more than 745 miles of additional bicycle facilities planned, and will continue to promote a connected network of improved bicycle level of service. Now, therefore, I, Commissioner Amy Kelly, and Mayor Rebecca Shelton of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of March of 2026 as Florida Bicycle Month. Thank you. Do we have that?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Cruz. Wanted to make a few brief remarks. I know that it looks like you have a busy agenda tonight. Members of the management team, just wanted to proclaim our thanks to the City of Boynton Beach for proclaiming Florida Bicycle Month in the city. You're one of 30 different cities or organizations that have proclaimed Florida Bicycle Month in Palm Beach County, so we really appreciate you getting us over that hump. We've never had this many cities proclaim Florida Bicycle Month, and the reason that we do this is for our citizens. So for all of you, we want you all to get out during the month of March and to enjoy the transportation system that we have now. We want you to ensure that you have a healthy, active means of getting around your city and around your county. We look at bicycling as a safe and effective way to get around, but it's also one that helps our students get to school and it helps them reach their goals. So if you can ever have a parent send their kid to school by bike and have them come back, you know that they're going to be getting more exercise, that they're going to be reaching their educational attainment goals better, and that they're going to be a happier and healthier child. So for that, we appreciate you doing this. We appreciate all the work that your staff has put into making the system as good as it can be and continuing to work on this through your Vision Zero action plan and many projects that we have funded in the past. For that, I appreciate it. I thank you, and I wish you a wonderful evening and a wonderful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brian.
The next proclamation for National Procurement Month, the procurement team will be accepting the proclamation. Whereas the public procurement profession plays a crucial role in enhancing the productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness of government operations through automation, and whereas the public procurement profession within the City of Boynton Beach government and across public and private organizations throughout the nation plays a pivotal role in shaping the economic landscape of the United States, wielding collective purchase power that reaches into the billions of dollars annually, and through the responsible stewardship of public funds directly impacts the sustainability of local economies, the growth of businesses, and the delivery of essential services to communities. And whereas the role of procurement extends far beyond the acquisition of goods and services, accompanying the execution, implementation, and administration of contracts, as well as the cultivation of meaningful partnerships with local and national suppliers, and the fostering of collaborative relationships with internal stakeholders across all departments of the organization. And whereas procurement in the City of Boynton Beach recognize, support, and uphold the public procurement values and guiding principles: accountability, ethics, impartiality, professionalism, service, and transparency. Established by the National Institute of Government Purchasing, these principles are regarded as fundamental tenets of the public procurement profession. And whereas NIGP has designated the month of March as Procurement Month to increase awareness of this vital role that procurement professionals play, highlighting their contributions to government officials, the general public, and business of corporate leaders alike. Now thereof, I, Rebecca Shelton, Mayor of City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of March National Procurement Month at the City of Boynton Beach, and further extend appreciation to our Procurement Director, Andrew Wadowski, Lisa DeMeo, Administrator, Source and Procurement Transformation, Contracts Manager Tara Lynn Pratt, Senior Procurement Specialist Rhonda Kaplan, Senior Procurement Specialist Utilities Teresa Gonzalez, Procurement Coordinator Roberta Shelmadine, and all procurement professionals for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, to be affixed at Boynton Beach, Florida, the 23rd day of March, 2026.
Good evening. As president of the Southeast Florida chapter of NIGP, it is my honor to present the Procurement Manager of the Year award to Andrew Wadowski of the City of Boynton Beach. Each year, this award recognizes a public procurement leader who has made significant contributions to advancing the profession within their organization, their chapter, and NIGP, while exemplifying the guiding principles of public procurement. Andrew truly embodies these qualities through both his leadership and his measurable results. Upon joining the city, he has demonstrated an exceptional level of dedication and professionalism, quickly implementing meaningful processes and improvements that have strengthened the operations across the organization. Andrew welcomed his first son just 1 week after joining the city. He took 3 days off to be with his family and returned to jump right back into work. That same commitment is reflected in his impact. Andrew has reduced the purchase order issuance time from 66 days down to just 6 days. He's created a public transparency dashboard, and he fosters a culture of leadership and mentorship within his team. In addition, Andrew was elected this year as Vice President of the NIGP Southeast Florida chapter. It's a recognition of his leadership and the respect he has earned among his peers. In this role, he continues to bring forward-thinking practices and industry expertise back to the city, reinforcing compliance, elevating standards, and strengthening public trust for the residents of Boynton Beach. Andrew, your leadership, innovation, and commitment to public service makes you truly deserving of this recognition and embodies the highest ideals of public service. It is my privilege to present you with the Procurement Manager of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Let him walk. Now he's gonna run. Let him go, let him go, let him go, let him go.
Ready.
That's awesome.
Baby procurement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, next will be a proclamation for Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church. The members of the church will be accepting the proclamation, and Vice Mayor Hay will be reading it for us.
City of Boynton Beach, 134th anniversary of Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church. Whereas Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, founded on February the 5th, 1892, has the historic distinction of being the first church established in Boynton Beach, Florida, serving as the cornerstone of faith, community, and resilience for the city's earliest African-American settlers. And whereas the church began through the dedication and spiritual leadership of Robert E. Wells and Elizabeth Wells, who opened their doors to host the first worship service, laying the foundation for a congregation that would grow to become a vital institution in Boynton Beach. And whereas throughout its long and distinctive history, Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church has stood as a beacon of hope, advocacy, and service, embodying the African Methodist Episcopal tradition of linking faith with social justice and community uplift. And whereas the pastor and members of Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church in September 1896 played a pivotal role in the advancing educational opportunities for African American children by petitioning Dade County School Board to establish a school and a teacher that would meet the needs of the community. And whereas because of their unwavering commitment to educational equality and social action, Boynton Elementary School, Boynton Colored Elementary, which became Ponciano School, was established, making a transformative movement in the history of Boynton Beach and expanding access to learning for generations of students. And whereas the original church building was erected in 1907 and located on the northeast corner of Boynton Beach Boulevard and US 1. In 1925, the church was forced to relocate due to a city segregation ordinance. The city was moved to a site on Wells Avenue, and in 1928, the structure was destroyed by a hurricane. And in 1929, a new white wall frame building with a bell was erected. And in 1957, the church was built at its current location, 315 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. This site is across the street from the former 1929 building. And whereas Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church remains relevant and helping our community through evangelism, philanthropy, and community outreach. And whereas Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church has nurtured and shaped numerous leaders, including the 130th elected and consecrated bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, Bishop John Frank White, who grew up within this congregation and went on to serve the African Methodist Episcopal Church with distinction, caring for the values instilled in him by this historic church. And now, therefore, the city of Boynton Beach, Florida, does hereby proudly recognize and honor Greater St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church for its historic significance, its enduring commitments to justice and education, and its invaluable contributions to the cultural, spiritual, and civic fiber of our city. Presented this 23rd day of March 2026 at Boynton Beach, Florida, in celebration of its 134th year legacy and in gratitude for his continued service to the people of Boynton Beach.
Going down?
We're going down.
Want me to go? No.
Come on around. Let's get across. Some on that side. Ricky, you stand in the middle here. And even it off on both sides. That's right. Come on. Come on the other side. Come on the other side. Okay, are we all here now?
All right, good evening. That was good history there, right? On behalf of our pastor, Reverend Dr. Lee Harvey Sapp, and the Greater St. Paul AME church family, we would like to sincerely say thank you for this special proclamation and for recognizing our church as one of the first established churches here in Boynton Beach. We are honored and proud to celebrate 134 years of faithful service, community impact, and spiritual leadership. Thank you for acknowledging our legacy and continued commitment to the city of Boynton Beach. Thank you.
Now we will be moving on to the swearing in. Interim City Clerk Stanzione will be swearing in Mac McCray as Commissioner District 2 for the city of Boynton Beach.
Raise your right hand. I,
I,
Mac McCray,
Mike McCray,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support,
do solemnly swear, affirm, and support,
protect, and defend the Constitution and government
protect, and defend the Constitution and the
of
government
the United States and the state of Florida
of the United States and the state of Florida
and the city of Boynton Beach,
and the city of Boynton Beach,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold an office
under the Constitution and the laws of the state of Florida
under the Constitution and the laws of the state of Florida
and the city of Boynton Beach,
and the city of Boynton Beach,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Commissioner District 2
the duties of Commissioner 2
of the city of Boynton Beach,
of
Florida.
the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if this is a time where I'm supposed to speak or not, but I'm going to go ahead and speak since I am now commissioner. First of all, this morning, a little bit after 7 o'clock, my telephone rang. It was my boss. He said, I forgot you was off, and he's here tonight. Mr. Kurtz, please stand. All the way from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I've had a chance to work with Mr. Kurtz, along with he and his family, for over 30-some years as a licensed funeral director and embalmer. And for that, I am truly grateful. Now, for what I'm really up here for is for the citizens of Boynton, all citizens of Boynton, and especially District 2. You all finally got me back. I just want to let you know that I made a speech upstairs before coming down, so I won't be redundant, but we have a lot of things to do here in the city of Boynton. I'm going to say to the ministers in the city, those that know how to pray, and anybody else that know how to pray and can get a prayer through. In times like these, I need blood covering. I need blood covering before I put 1 foot from here up there. It's no more time to be playing. It's too much happening. It's happening left and right. I'm just saying things that we thought would never happen is happening. They said about wars and rumors of wars. Now we're talking about wars. But I have the privilege of serving this city for over close to 20-some years. I grew up here. For 72 years, I lived in Boynton. I was educated in the school system of Palm Beach County. I was planted from Georgia when I was 4 years old. I'm 76 now. They used to call me the historian when I went up on the dais because I could tell them so much about Boynton. I want to let the citizens know that I have a telephone. I want you all to use it. Call me. I will return phone calls. I have an aide. But you know, I learned on this road of life, I don't depend on anybody except Jesus. And that if the A's can't do what I'm supposed to do, I ask him to strengthen me, that I can do it. We have a lot before us. We have a cemetery that we ran out of space, that we don't have space to bury citizens here in Boynton, and that should not have been. I met, before I even came back up here, I met with the commissioners, and I told them how to replot. And by November of this year, you have 864 more spaces that we can bury our citizens. Although I was not sitting up there, I did not stop working. I continued to work. I want to say to Commissioner Vice Mayor Hay, sir, as you pass the baton, I want to tell you thank you for your entire work. Commissioner and Vice Mayor Hay, we served on a lot of committees together in St. John. I know what he was capable of doing, what he can do. And guess what? He did the best that he could do with what he had to do. I want to say to his wife, Mrs. Hay, thank you for the years you stood by your husband and you're still standing. When I came here to commission meeting, a lot of times we looked for people of color and we didn't see them. But Mrs. Hay was always here. And that's what made me get motivated again to continue to keep coming. Boynton, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to serve, but we need to start looking out among us now and start training up some young people who will be able to take the torch and run and do what we can and cannot do.
Amen.
Every time we come back to office, they said, it's either Commissioner McCray or Commissioner Hay. That's because nobody else seems like they want to do it. We was upstairs tonight and we had a gathering, and I really appreciated the gathering. But I already told them I want to know where did the money come from. I'm watching every penny. We don't have any money to waste. I like to say to our uniformed men and women here in Boynton, we have a fantastic force. I know sometimes we say that you all don't treat us right, and sometimes we feel like y'all don't treat us right. But I'm here to make sure that we all work together now. Whatever has been done in the past, let it stay in the past. We're talking about we don't have places to park our cars in District 2 because of the streets. That's going to change because we're going to work together. I'm here to tell you that if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. That wasn't broken, or you all tried to fix it. I like to say to the Boynton Chamber of Commerce, my friend right there, Rick, when I ran for office, he came behind me and said, I'm going to run for office. He did not win, but he tried. You're not going to always win, but don't ever stop fighting. If you believe in something, continue to fight, fight, and fight. As I sit there tonight and listen to them read our proclamation from St. Paul, African Methodist Episcopal Church, for the years that it has stood, and it is still standing. That's what our life and our whole world was made on. We had to make an example. I thank the citizens for showing up tonight to support me. I thank you for supporting me at the polls. Thank you for calling me and saying, McCray, are you running? Don't see your name on the ballot and stuff, what is going on. And let me know that you all cared. And I'm going to do this now, so don't you ever forget it. I'm going to give all of you a real big hug because I love each of you. Thank you.
Commissioner McCray, would you like to come up?
Really, but I'll come.
You can't get rid of that.
No.
I'm here. I'm here.
Go get a hug.
By the end of it, we'll give them
Tammy, you
And it is official. Okay, we will now be moving on. The Honorable Judge Karen Sipperstein will be swearing in incumbent Amy Kelly as Commissioner District 4 for the City of Boynton Beach.
Just want to thank everybody for having me tonight. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm honored to have the privilege to swear in Amy Kelly. I know she's done this before. I do it a little bit differently. I ask it in 3 parts because the repeat after me sometimes doesn't work so well. So I'm just going to ask, please raise your right hand and please state your name.
Amy Kelly.
Thank you. Amy Kelly, do you solemnly swear that you will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States, the state of Florida, and the city of Boynton Beach?
I will.
And do you solemnly swear that you are duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution and laws of the state and the city of Boynton Beach?
Yes, I am.
And do you solemnly swear that you will well and faithfully perform the duties of Commissioner of District 4 of the city of Boynton Beach, Florida?
Yes, I will.
Just want to say congratulations again. Thank you.
Tammy has got it.
But I'm going to do it up here. I have to read from my script. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for that. I have to read from my script, otherwise I get emotional. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to my family, my husband, my 2 kids. See? It happens anyway. Friends, members of our community, especially the residents from District 4 who I know are in the audience. I want to thank you for being here today. Your support, encouragement, and belief in me made this moment possible. Also, a big thank you to Judge Karen Sipperstein for coming tonight to swear me in for my 2nd term. I am deeply honored and humbled to be sworn in as your commissioner. Public service is not just a title, it is a responsibility. It means listening first, leading with integrity, and working every day to improve the lives of the people we serve, regardless of background, neighborhood, or circumstance. Our diversity is our strength, and when we work together, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. My priorities are simple: transparency, collaboration, and progress. I pledge to approach every decision with fairness, thoughtful consideration, and the long-term well-being of our entire community in mind. One of our many priorities remain unchanged: providing exceptional service, improving public safety, and its delivery with fiscal responsibility to our residents. It is especially meaningful that today's ceremony takes place during Women's History Month, a time when we recognize the women who broke barriers, raised their voices, and opened doors that moments like this could be possible. Their courage reminds us that leadership is not about power, but about purpose. To the young girls who may be watching tonight, know that your voice matters. Sorry, I have a little girl. Your ideas matter, and your leadership matters. The future is yours to shape. I am grateful for the trust you have placed in me, and I promise to serve with dedication, accountability, and heart. Thank you. Now let's get to work.
And Commissioner McCray, you will read and present a proclamation to former Vice Mayor Woodrow Hay for his dedication to the city.
Commissioner Hay, Vice Mayor Hay, and Mrs. Hay, if you all can come front, please. City of Boynton Beach Proclamation. Whereas the City of Boynton Beach recognizes and celebrates individuals whose dedication, professionalism, and commitment to public service strengthen our community and improve the quality of life for our residents. And whereas Vice Mayor Woodrow Hay has faithfully served the City of Boynton Beach for more than 20-plus years to the growth, stability, and success of this city of Boynton Beach, consistently exemplifying the voices of teamwork, leadership, and service to the public. And whereas Woodrow Hay commitment has helped support the city mission of providing high-quality service and fostering a safe, vibrant, and welcoming community for all residents and visitors. And whereas the City of Boynton Beach is grateful for the lasting impact of Woodrow Hay, many years of service, hard work, dedication, and service, which have left a positive mark on the organization and the community as a whole. Now, therefore, I, Commissioner Mike McCray, on behalf of the mayor, city commissioners, and the residents of the City of Boynton Beach, do hereby recognize and commend Vice Mayor Woodrow L. Hay for the over 20-plus years of dedicated service to the city and extend sincere appreciation for this outstanding contribution. And witness, therefore, I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Boynton Beach to be affixed this 23rd day of March, 2026. Mayor Shelton, Commissioner Cruz, Commissioner McCray, Commissioner Turkin, Commissioner Kelly, Tammy Tanzania, City Clerk, Commissioner Hay, Vice Mayor Hay, my friend, on behalf of the entire city of Boynton Beach, Florida, and the residents, we present this proclamation to you, sir. Wish that it could be more, but thank you for your years of service, sir.
Don't leave me now, honey. Come on. For over 60 years, this lady's been by my side. I want to first of all thank this city, the commissioners, the mayor, Vice Mayor to be, and all the other commissioners, staff. I could, when you give a preacher a microphone and a captured audio, I could be a while, but I'm going to make it short. I want to thank this city of Boynton Beach for treating me with kindness, treating me with respect, listening to my ideas, and agreeing most of the time, and sometimes we didn't agree. But you know, through it all, we are one of the best cities out of 39 municipalities in Palm Beach County. Boynton Beach is being looked at as one of the premier cities in this county. And I can say that with honesty and integrity. I want to thank all of the people that voted for me and who didn't vote for me. But we are still one in Christ Jesus. Because at the end of the day, all we want to hear him say is, servant, well done. And I have done my due diligence and the best I could with the time that I've had. I served this commission, as Commissioner McCray stated. We exchanged the baton back and forth for many years. But we've got to find someone else to step up to the plate, you young people. And I know they're there. We just have to find them, Commissioner McCray. And we will find them.
Yes.
Okay? And this city will continue to grow and grow and be the primary and set the pace for other cities to look at. Because we dug deep and we found things that were not supposed to be on the books, and we burned them.
We burned them.
There were things that should not have occurred in this city, and we voted them out. And so I say to us, let's keep on keeping on. Work together, because that's what it's all about. You don't have to invite me to dinner, but we do need to work together. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer for you all. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. We will now be moving on to informational items by the members of the City Commission. Let's begin on my right with Commissioner Cruz.
I have no informational items, Mayor. Thank you.
Commissioner McCray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can I say one thing?
of course.
I apologize. A lot of excitement made me forget.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank the chief of the Boynton Beach Police Department and all the staff who showed up to Leisureville for a town hall meeting to talk about crime prevention and all the things that are being worked on right now. Definitely appreciate it. And just wanted to say thank you for that. It was a really important town hall. I know it's one of our larger, neighborhoods in my district, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Commissioner McCray.
Thank you. I'd like to say, is this thing on? I'd like to say to the staff, can you all hear me? I'd like to say to the staff, I was here walking around City Hall for close to a month, observing and talking to each of you, finding out what did you do and why did you do what you was doing? Why did you do what you was doing? Why did you do what you was doing? How was you doing what you was doing? Whichever way it comes out, that's good with me. But I met a lot of people, and they said, and continue to say, if there's anything, Commissioner McCray, if I could help you with, you welcome me with open arms. And don't put your arms down now since I've been sworn in, because I'm going to come to you. Thank you.
First, I would like to say to our police department, I want to thank you. I have received a lot of calls in District 3 that they have seen a lot more patrol and that things have gotten better in the last couple of weeks. So I know you guys have had a crazy day today with what happened on Congress, and I understand the fire department as well. So I want to thank you both departments for getting out there and also stepping up in District 3. We have noticed the difference, and the residents have, so thank you. And then, Mr. Hay, we have a plaque that wasn't given to you, so you need to come back on down, so come on down.
Celebration continues.
Yes, you're not leaving just yet. I know there's a plaque somewhere for you. Who has it? You got it?
Tammy has it.
Tammy's got it.
Yeah, let's do that. Commissioner Kelly, do you have anything that you would like for informational items? Thank you, Mayor. The only thing, you mentioned it, today we had a pretty critical incident, and I just really wanted to acknowledge the fire department and the police department. You know, they train and train and train, and you never expect or plan for these emergencies to happen. And so, but that's why they do all the training. And it's so important that when things like this happen, that they're there within minutes and are able to act and know what to do. So I just wanted to thank them, and also, you know, keep the families in our thoughts and prayers that are struggling with this tragedy also. So thank you.
Commissioner Turkin?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep this very brief. Everyone's been super patient, but I just want to congratulate Commissioner McCray and Commissioner Kelly on their uncontested, I guess not elections, but you know, ceremonies. It speaks volume when the community trusts you, and I look forward to your institutional knowledge and history that you have with the city. And I trust and I'm confident that you will continue to share this culture that we've established of putting residents first and really embodying that servant leadership that this body has done. Commissioner Kelly, it's been an honor to serve with you, and your residents, they love you. You serve them wholeheartedly, and you know, I think what's even more telling is that you're as good as a commissioner you are, you're a better wife and you're a better mom. And that's one thing I really think is the most important, because titles, they come and go. But I think the most important is, you know, being called a parent or being called a partner. And so you should be proud of that. And I think that reflects in how you govern and how you lead. All right. Save the best for last, Commissioner Hay. So, you know, I just want to echo, I mentioned this a couple times already, you know, we don't always align politically. But I think, again, we've had conversations and relationship building off the dais more than I think we've had on the dais. And one thing that, again, I'll say publicly is the thing that I admire about you the most, and that has made an impact on my life as a man, is your relationship with Christ as well as your relationship with your wife. For me, those are important principles that I strive to be, and you have set the tone for that. And it's good to see that there's still companionship, marriages, vows that continue. And to see 60 years is a rare commodity in this day and age. You don't see that. And so I hope to achieve that same success. And again, Commissioner's great, Reverend's great, but being able to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ by serving your family and the community is the greatest accomplishment of all. So thank you for all your service, and it's not goodbye, it's see you later. For those who don't know, Commissioner Hay will be back as the police chaplain for the city of Boynton Beach, so we'll be seeing him around, and thank you again for this. All right, now the city business.
Are you done?
No, I got a couple things.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to say, I got a couple shout outs to give. The Boots and Barbecue First Friday was huge, probably the biggest, the greatest First Friday we've ever seen. It was a huge turnout, so thank you guys so much for doing that. I want to thank Utilities, Poonam. I want to thank Will and Kevin for those prompt responses to the residents in Chapel Hill with the speed bumps, the paving, and then also the water break that we had. And then I want to really thank and recognize Chief DeGiulio for acting quickly, swiftly to the discussion that we had at the last commission meeting regarding, the issues that we're having in Forest Park. I've seen a plethora of increased patrol. I've seen administration changes, and so it means a lot, not just to me, but to the father that came up here with his young child to see action is being taken when people cry out for help. And so I admire and I appreciate that. And then I also want to thank all the residents who came out and voted for our referendums. One of the ones that I think was crucial, important for fair representation in the city was the 2-year residency requirement to make sure that we don't have people hopping around and trying to serve this city just to build their political brand or build their political career. And that won with a whopping 93%, probably the biggest turnout and result that we've had for any referendum. And so that's a testament of what these residents want, what they care about, and what we think is the right fit for Boynton Beach, not fly-by-night, people who just want to serve for ulterior motives. And then lastly, I spoke with, I had the opportunity to sit down and speak with the Florida CFO last week and get some insight on what that office is going to look like. They're expanding the office. There's legislation that's being passed where they're going to mandate an exercise that each municipality has to take at looking at how they can cut their budget by at least 10%. The cuts aren't mandated, but the exercise is. They are growing that office. They are going to be more involved with municipalities. And so I think as we move into the budget cycle this year, that is important information to know. And then lastly, a request from the city manager's office. I would like to look at a comparison of all of the legal work that has done in-house and what has been farmed out, and look at the comparison of costs that we've had over the last few years since last establishing an in-house attorney.
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
Well,
and then the only other
we-
thing I have is I don't know. No, we're good. Thank you.
Well, since it's a night of celebration, I would like to say congratulations to Commissioner Turkin on getting married 2 weeks ago. So if everyone can give him a round of applause that Commissioner Turkin is now a married man. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to city announcements. Staff, please come to the podium to announce your events.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Todd Johnson. I'm the supervisor, recreation supervisor over at the Ezel Hester Community Center. And I'd like to issue a challenge. and that is hop on over to the Hester Center on April the 4th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the annual Easter egg extravaganza. It's going to be back at the Hester Center this year, and it promises to be an exciting event, okay? Now, it's a free family event, as always. As I mentioned, it's going to be on the 4th. We're going to have a lot of different things out there. We're going to have a lot of variety. And if you got young ones, bring the whole family with you, because it is going to be a bunch of family fun activities. We're going to have egg hunts for young people. You know, we're going to have 0 to 12-year-old kids coming on out. Awesome giveaways, pony rides, face painters, bounce houses, food trucks. There's going to be photo ops with the Easter Bunny. So it's always going to be a good festive event. And we put a lot of work into it to make a lot of people have a good time, and just to have people come and take the load off. So we're going to offer this year a convenient way of getting to the event. We're going to shuttle this time around. We didn't have to do that in the past because it was right there at Centennial Park. But this year, it will be a large group of people over coming to Hester Center. So we're going to use the gravel lot behind the Arts and Cultural Center, okay, if people who are in need of needing to get over there. And one last thing, a huge thank you goes out to our supporting sponsor, ABA Centers of Florida, okay, and they have been instrumental in helping us to make this event very possible. So, again, April the 4th, looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, City Managers. I'm Stephanie Soplop, the Compliance Coordinator for the City of Boynton Beach, and I have another event that you can hop on over to. So, April is Autism Acceptance Month, and to celebrate that, we partner with Florida Atlantic University Center for Autism and Related Disabilities to have the Art and Autism Expo. So for the entire month of April, there will be art on display on the second floor inside the Arts and Cultural Center by all different ages of artists who are registered with FAU card. And we invite the public to come and view the art during the whole month of April. There will be a special reception on Monday, April 6th, where attendees can see performances, meet the artists, enjoy treats from the Chocolate Spectrum for free, and make candles with Sensibility Candles. That event will be from 5 to 7 p.m. inside the Arts and Cultural Center, right across the street from City Hall here, 125 East Ocean Avenue. And there are also some sponsors for the Art and Autism Expo: Family First Adolescent Services, Bright ABA, Cultural Council for Palm Beach County, and Norton Museum of Art. So this is a great time for everyone to come. If you attend the reception on April 6th, you can purchase some art from some of the artists, meet them, discuss their art, and have a free chocolate. So I'm also here to talk about some events that already happened. So in February, we had a couple of events, and we want to recognize our partners that helped us with those events. We had the Magic Wheels and Special Deals event, which is a free community event with a disability resource fair and special magic wheels that is donated to a child. That event was held on February 5th at the Ezel Hester Center, and we'd like to thank Little Wolf Carpentry for their outstanding efforts in constructing this year's Magic Wheels. Their dedication to providing custom devices has brought joy and excitement to the lives of children with mobility challenges in our community. We also had the Barrier-Free 5K event that's following Saturday at Barrier-Free Park, which is to raise funds to expand on Barrier-Free Park, which is a park that's accessible to kids and adults. And we would like to thank the Greater Boynton Beach Foundation, Hunters Run, and the Broward, Palm Beaches, and St. Lucie Realtors for their collaboration on the Barrier-Free 5K event. We had over 200 registered people at the Barrier-Free 5K this year. We expanded and had a challenge for different race groups, so that was a lot of fun. And so we're going to have both of these events again next February. We hope you all can attend. At this time, I'd like to invite Little Wolf Carpentry up. I have some plaques, Mayor, if you wouldn't mind coming down, and I would like to give them the plaques. There you go. And this year, they created a special fantasy creation for Mason, and it was a hot air balloon. So each year, it's a surprise. We don't know what it's going to be until the event. They have done this for the past 7 years, many different amazing creations, always better and better each year. So Rosalind would like to say a few words from her perspective.
I was thinking about her running down.
No, I'm not doing that. So first, I would like to thank everyone who helped. My dad, Jeff, better known as Lil Wolf, and Nathan, his best friend. We've been doing this for 7 years now, and it's just amazing to see the kids' expression when we give them the wheelchair. Lastly, we would also like to thank the city of Boynton Beach and Stephanie for allowing us to continue to bring smiles to children's faces. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Gigi Shasu, Director of Economic Development. I have 2 exciting programs to share with you, and I really want you to assist us in spreading the word regarding these 2 programs. The first program is the CDBG grant for small businesses. We are actually giving the businesses up to $25,000 to strengthen their operations. It can go towards rent, towards inventory, and even minor things to do inside their businesses. So please help us to strengthen to their businesses and spread the word. This grant is also only for business owners that are low to moderate income, or that the businesses are located in low to moderate income areas. I want them to know that this Department of Economic Development, it's available to have hours for them to help them with the application, just to make sure that their application is successful. So it's going to be open until we allocate all the funds. And we have $95,000 for businesses here in Boynton Beach. I have flyers in the back, so if you know somebody that it's a low to moderate income business owner, or a business located in a low to moderate income area, please let them know that this grant is available. And let me tell you something, we are the only city in Palm Beach County that is allowing this to the business, that is giving this type of money to the small businesses in the city, the only city in the whole county. The second program, it's the workforce training program that I call EDGE, which is also starting tomorrow, but we still have, I think, 3 seats. And thank you to Baptist Health. They donated laptops for those residents that want to join this training that is for free, and they are unemployed or underemployed, they can get free laptops to use during the whole training. It's a 20-hour training. It's provided by Palm Beach State College. And they are going to get a certificate. Once they complete this, they're going to get a certificate from Palm Beach State College, another unique program in Palm Beach County. So please help us spread the word. These are very valuable trainings and also grants for businesses, because that's what we do. We love to strengthen our community. Thank you.
Okay, we are now moving on to public audience. As always, it is 3 minutes per person. It is non-transferable, and this is not a Q&A. Same rules as always apply. The speaker must address the commission as a whole and not to any individual on the dais or the audience. Insults, personal attacks, and disruptions will not be permitted, and you will be asked to leave should you violate these rules. After we've concluded those in person, we will go to those that are online. So if anyone would like to speak, please come down to the podium and start to line up on both sides so we can keep things moving along. Let's start on our right,
Mayor, excuse
please.
me. Before we start public audience, I like to make this observation, and I hope the rest of you all will join in. My concern is that if a citizen has a complaint or a concern, and one of the employees of this city goes to them and address that complaint or concern, I feel like something should be done in writing and given to us so that we don't have to keep listening to the same thing over and over again, because I'm going to want to know why this wasn't taken care of, and they got to keep saying the same thing. This is what you call holding people accountable, and I think that's what we need to start doing. Thank you.
Susan Oyer, Boynton Beach. Here you go. Sorry, this is like 40 pages, so I only made 2 copies, if you want to pass them around. So first of all, congratulations to everyone. Former Commissioner Vice Mayor Hay, congratulations on your years of service. You too, Mrs. Hay, because you did the service as well. Congratulations, Commissioner McCray, Commissioners Kelly, and Commissioner Turkin. Congratulations on the wedding. I'm here to ask you to vote no on 8K, Ordinance 26-011. I'm asking that you go and investigate the background of why you would want to get rid of your historic resources and get rid of your historically designated buildings and the entire ordinance. I think you're making a huge mistake, and yes, I've put in to go back on Historic Resources Preservation Board, so I don't know who has the appointment, but I'm the one up for it because I applied. I've been on it on and off for years now. I want to say, please investigate why the city employee who is supposed to be the liaison between that board and the city is not following through on her directed duties by the board. The board makes a vote, they say we want this done, that person then does not do that. To the best of my knowledge, you still have an internal affairs office, unless that's out of the budget. Maybe you should put internal affairs looking at this. Go back and look at the minutes. What I've passed is the minutes from August 7, 2023. There's multiple other minutes with examples. This one was like 40 pages, so I only made a couple copies, sorry. But I've highlighted the areas where you can see where those things never happen. This person's job is to protect historic buildings, so why is this person working to get rid of them? Please investigate why she says she'll do what the board directs her to do, then doesn't do it. This person then goes to please investigate why the commission was told, for example, that it would cost $19,000 to do the study on these buildings, to save these buildings, but yet the most expensive one had already been done and should not have been part of that budget, and that's in this huge packet that I've passed around. So that is misleading you, that person, and then that's impacting your decisions and your votes, and I would encourage you to go and investigate what's going on there and protect the historic preservation, protect our historic buildings. People care, and more importantly, when this starts coming up, with other businesses, other cities that might want to do business, you'll soon find out everyone cares about historic preservation, so let's do our part. We have very little left. Let's keep what we have. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rick Maharaj, founder and president and CEO of the Boynton Beach Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Boynton's official chamber, 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach. Joining me tonight are some members of our chamber. Christine Roberts, our executive vice president of the chamber and CEO of Intention Enterprises. Kevin Greenberg, board director and director of civic leadership, and also the CEO of Don't Back Down. Carol Petrosky, chair of our Adopt a program, in collaboration with the city of Boynton Beach, and she's also the property manager at the Nexus. Dr. D. Paul, our newly appointed chief strategy officer. He's also the founder of Chronic Wellness International. Bethany Castro, one of our newest ambassadors for the chamber. She's also a U.S. Army veteran. Thank you for your service, ma'am. And she is the founder of the Stretch Concierge. Mr. Ariel Moyano, he is the chamber co-chair of our ambassadors, and he's with Legacy Wealth Management. Thank you guys so much. They say you're only as good as your team, and I appreciate you all. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the BBCIC, we'd like to congratulate our newly elected commissioners, Commissioner Kelly and Commissioner McCray. Public service is a commitment to leadership, vision, and the future of our city. And today, you both step into that responsibility, and you've done it before. Boynton Beach is growing, evolving, and full of opportunity. And your leadership, along with our mayor, the Honorable Rebecca Shelton, vice mayor, members of the commission, our city manager's office, we will help shape what comes next. The chamber, your chamber, stands ready to partner with you to support our business community, drive economic growth, and strengthen the connection between government and the people it serves. Congratulations again. And we're excited about what's ahead. Thank you.
Next, please. Pastor Richard Dames, resident of Boynton Beach. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the dais. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment, thank former Vice Mayor, former Commissioner of District 2, Sir Repose, Reverend Hay, to say thank you for your service and sacrifice to the city of Boynton Beach, to include residents of District 2. In the words of the Apostle Paul, Reverend Hay, you fought a good fight. You finished your race, and you certainly kept the faith. And for that, we say thank you. Commissioner Kelly, congratulations. Welcome back. Commissioner McCray, congratulations. Welcome back. It is our prayer that you all will allow the Holy Spirit to guide you and lead you in the decisions that will be made in the coming weeks, months, and years. District 2 residents look forward to working with you and supporting you. The residents expect for you to ensure that we are informed on matters that directly affects our district as well as the entire city. Make no mistakes, the residents will hold you all accountable for what you do, what you don't do, what you say, and what you don't say. Please know that we've reached out to all of our residents and continue to reach out to residents of District 2 about the importance of supporting you over the next few years. Finally, I would like to congratulate Ms. Monique Lewis, who served the city of Boynton Beach 10,312 days, 28 years and 3 months. Ms. Lewis just didn't come to work. Rather, she was born and raised in this city. Her first 9/11 call came 28 years ago. Ms. Lewis started on the front lines, but she didn't stay there. Ms. Lewis' upward trajectory allowed her to become a supervisor in 2010, a manager in 2023, and in 2024, she didn't just break a glass ceiling, she simply shattered it by becoming the first Black woman from the city of Boynton Beach to serve as Division Director of Public Safety. So, Ms. Lewis, on behalf of the residents, thank you for your service and sacrifice. Thank you for your labor, your love, and your loyalty to the great people who have the privilege and pleasure of calling Boynton Beach home. May the good Lord bless you and keep you is our prayer. Thank you.
I can't follow that. Harry Woodworth, Boynton Beach. I'd like to echo the comments before. Thank Woodrow for all his service and what probably is the most thankless job in the world, public service anymore. Thank you very much for all the stuff you've done. Welcome back, Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner McRae. Looking forward to working with you guys. Congratulations on getting married. Didn't know. Just kind of wanted to say one thing. You have a item on the consent agenda, item G. Haven't spoken here in a couple of years, but this one was important. First off, it's over $7 million and it's on the consent agenda. That always perks my interest. That's a lot of money, and how does the public ever know what that is without any discussion? I know what it is. I think most of you know my background, high-tech electronics for 2 Fortune 100 companies for 40 years, and military service and the same thing. What you're buying here is probably one of the most sophisticated surveillance systems on the planet Earth. It listens to everything you say, what the community says. It listens to gunshots, which is fine. A lot of systems do that. It photographs everything, and I have no problem with that. I love the technology. I was part of that. I've designed it. I've implemented it around the world, and I did it in the service. But I'm telling you for a fact, we have a thing in the Constitution called the Fourth Amendment that has controls on this kind of stuff. These systems go into a database. Every place, every citizen drives by one of these cameras goes into a database which is there in perpetuity. The vendor holds it for 30 days, so he says. I don't have a problem with that. I also don't have a problem with it being photographed. I don't have a problem with it being recorded. I have a problem with the fact that anybody and his uncle can access it. There are no controls on this that work. People have been documented looking up their girlfriends, their ex-lovers, their whatever, political opponents. This is a problem, folks. And if you're not going to have it on a public, at least explain to the public what this is so we know what we're getting. This stuff is already, 30 cities have pulled this out. It's going to end up in the Supreme Court for a fact. It's already in the Virginia appellate courts. This has got to have some controls. You're setting up something here where everybody can enter the license plate, the car with a bumper sticker, a bang on the right front corner, and know where that car has been in perpetuity. You are being tracked day and night, 24/7. And you should be at least having a public discussion about this kind of stuff. And again, I designed this stuff, I've worked with this stuff, I've implemented this stuff, I'm a techie, I love this stuff. What I have a problem with is the lack of controls. There are no controls anywhere being discussed. The public doesn't have a clue what this is. I'll give you one example. Part of this is a system that actuates gunshots. You can hear it. Another vendor makes it called, I'm sorry. Can I finish? Okay. Ask yourself when you're buying this, have there been any arrests for gun violence on a dispatch called by the ShotSpotter system? I'm using the wrong name, but this vendor makes the same thing. Have there been any guns confiscated? Does crime in the area that have this better or worse for gun crime? And I guarantee you, you won't find the answers to most of that because in 20-some years, there are almost no peer-reviewed academic studies on this, and the ones that have show it doesn't no good at all. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ray Whiteley, and it's always an honor to be here. This is one of those rare moments where we get an opportunity to honor the past and recognize the present and step into the future with intention. This is a moment tonight. First, Commissioner Woodrow Hay. Commissioner, leadership is not measured by how long you hold a seat, but how deeply you impact the people. Your impact is undeniable. You stood in the gaps, you showed up when it mattered, you helped carry the city through critical seasons. Because of that, Boynton Beach is a better place. On behalf of grateful communities, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for answering the call. Your work will keep speaking for you. Now, Commissioner Matt McCray, today wasn't just a swearing in, it's a responsibility. This role requires courage, consistency, and connection. The people of District 2 are not asking for perfection, they're asking for presence. They want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want to know that they matter. And as you took this oath, remember this: leadership is not about the title, it's about trust. Protect it, build it, and earn it every day. We are praying with you, expecting from you, and ready to work with you. And finally, Ms. Monique Lewis, 28 years is not just a career, it's a legacy. Pastor Dames has already chronicled everything that you've done in this city. You served with honor, integrity, and commitment. Through long nights, hard moments, you stayed the course. You kept the faith, and that mattered. So tonight we say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for the legacy you leave behind. Commissioner Hay and Ms. Lewis, you remind us what public service should look like. Commitment, consistency, connected to people. Now here's the charge for all of us. Leadership does not sit on a stage. It lives in the city. It shows up in how we treat each other. It shows up whether we stay engaged or stay silent. The future of Boynton will not be decided by one person. It's shaped by all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, please.
Cindy Valco Di Corrado. And I'm here tonight to speak not just for myself, but to remind every American in this room of something we must never, ever forget. Our rights do not come from the government. Our rights come from God Almighty. The Constitution was not written to give us rights. It was written to protect the rights we were already given and to place limits on government so that those rights would not be taken from us. The First Amendment guarantees the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom to assemble, and the right to petition our government for redress of grievances. These are not privileges. They are protected, inherent rights. And yet today, we are seeing increasing overreach. We are seeing citizens silenced, restricted, and regulated in ways that go far beyond what is lawful or constitutional. Let's talk about private property. Private property means just that, private. It means that unless a person has voluntarily entered into an agreement such as an homeowners association, the government does not have unlimited authority to dictate how someone lives on their own property. When people are being cited or harassed for something as simple as having personal items on their porch, we have to ask, where does this authority come from? Because it does not come from the Constitution. Government exists to serve the people, not to control every aspect of their lives. And tonight, I am here to remind the people, you are not powerless. You are not voiceless. You are the authority in this nation. We, the people, are the foundation of this government. And when government begins to step beyond its constitutional boundaries, it is not only our right, but it's our duty and our responsibility to speak up, to stand up, to hold that government accountable. This is not about conflict. This is about restoring balance. This is about returning to the principles that made this country free. So I encourage every person here, learn your rights, know the Constitution, stand firm in truth, because freedom is not something we passively keep. It is something we actively defend. And remember this, no badge, no title, no office gives anyone the power to take your God-given rights. Those rights belong to you, and it is your responsibility to stand and protect them. The Constitution is still the supreme law of the land, and each and every one of you took an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States of America and of Florida. And what that gentleman just said, those drones looking in people's private properties, that is against the Constitution. That is encroaching on our liberties and our freedoms, and you cannot do that. And I'm just putting that out there, and I thank you, and I do want to congratulate Turkin, I do want to congratulate Amy, and I do want to congratulate you, Mr. McKay. But we need to really, McCray, we need to really know the Constitution. It would behoove each and every person on the dais and each and every person in this room. Learn the Constitution. That is your protection from the overreach of government. Thank you.
Thank you. We could keep things moving. Next, please. Next, please, yeah.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Hawkins. I am a resident of Boynton Beach, born and raised here in Boynton Beach. First of all, I would like to ditto the words that were said by Pastor Dames and Pastor Whiteley unto Hay and to McCray. But most of all, I want to thank my niece, Monique. It was one thing that was not mentioned, that she served also in the Army. And not only did she serve in the Army, she was faithful in what she did. And the 28 years that she have served here in the city of Boynton Beach, she missed a lot of our family events because she served. Some days she worked not just 24 hours. Sometimes she worked 3 shifts in the city of Boynton Beach. So Monique, your aunt applauds you.
Next, please.
Everyone, I would like to congratulate our new commissioners. My name is Stacy Dowdle. I am an advisor to the Greater Boynton Beach Foundation, and I am just here to welcome our new commissioners and to say thank you for all of your amazing partnerships with us over the course of so many years, and we look forward to deepening our relationship. One thing I would like to note is that we are very dedicated to preserving our history. And we believe that the city of Boynton Beach and our residents and our ability to live in this beautiful city is a gift from God. And so we just thank you for your leadership. And I really would like to congratulate Reverend Hay on your retirement and what a gift you've been to the city. And so we look forward to having you as our chaplain with the police. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, I'm Teresa Everett, former retired police sergeant for the city of Boynton. A great place to work, to start and retire. I am here to congratulate Monique. When I got the call about her leaving or her being retired, I was so excited for her. I worked as Monique's supervisor in 2013. It started in the communications center, and she has knowledge and wisdom and intellect. And I think that her time in the service, as in the military service, carried her along. She has structure, and she know how to research and find things that no one else could. Even as her supervisor, I learned a lot from her. I learned one time our center was uncertified. She found out how to recertify us. She got dispatcher certified. She has so much wisdom and knowledge. And her 28 years of serving the city of Boynton, you can't ask for anybody greater. Not even myself. I did my part. But she is really the person that carried the city. That communication center, when you dial 911, Monique was behind the scene, finding out what was going on, how to take care of it, and she got on the job and she did it. She taught, she trained. She was just an overall attribute to the city of Boynton in that position. And I am so proud of you. Congratulations. Keep your head up. Live your best life because it's out there. And I love you. I love you. Congratulations. And congratulations to you, Mr. McCray, Mr. Hay, Ms. Kelly. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Next, please.
I'm Carol Porter. I live in Stonehaven, Boynton Beach. I wanted to congratulate the new commissioners for being reelected or coming into office. Some of you, I think, have spoken about senior fraud. I think Commissioner Cruz and Chief DiGiulio had a forum about fraud with seniors. I hope you can expand those efforts throughout the community because I am a victim of senior fraud. So, again, congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you. There's no one left in the audience to speak. We're going to check online.
No, Mayor, there's nobody online.
Public audience is now closed. We are now moving on to the administration portion of the agenda. 5A is the City Commission appointment of Vice Mayor that will serve for 1 year until March 2027. Are there any nominations for Vice Mayor at this time?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Having attended commission meeting prior to even being back up here, I watched this young man, the way he carried on up here, the right way as a commissioner. I'm going to nominate Commissioner Thomas Turkin to be the vice mayor for the next year.
Okay, we do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. And the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we need to be switching.
You want to switch now or next meeting?
No, let's do it next meeting. I got this one warm.
I agree, you're settled. It's been a lot going on here. Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to community support funds. I have requested $1,000 go to Pathways to Prosperity. Is there a motion to approve the community support funds?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We will now be moving on to consent agenda. If my colleagues would like to pull any items.
Advisory board.
Oh,
appointments.
advisory board, sorry.
Sorry.
That's right, because it's missing. We're moving on to the advisory board. So, Tammy, does the first one go to me for the historic preservation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We have one nomination. We have Susan Oyer, who's applied. So I will be appointing Susan Oyer to this.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes, and we have Susan Oyer now on the Historic Preservation Board. We're now going to be moving on to the Senior Advisory Board. Commissioner McCray, this is your appointment with Amanda Cowan.
I like. Okay, it's weird.
Very strange. It wasn't on there, but this is the only applicant. She's leaving she's leaving the Parks and Rec and going into senior.
I'd like to nominate Amanda Coven.
Yeah.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second to nominate Amanda Cowan to the Senior Advisory Board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Welcome aboard. Now we will be going on to the consent agenda. If any of my colleagues would like to pull any items from consent, let's begin to my left with Vice Mayor Turkin.
Nothing for section 6.
Okay. Commissioner Kelly?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes, I'd like to pull items B, D, and E.
And Commissioner Cruz?
None for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Motion to approve the remainder of the consent agenda?
So move.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. And then Commissioner McCray, since you wanted to pull items B, D, and E.
Right. Mayor, thank you. The reason I pull these items is because as I looked at this agenda, and it says staff recommends approval of proposal. I kind of have problems with this. I'm just saying, I don't want to be the one to say this, but I don't believe in doing pre-agenda meetings because it seems like we had a meeting behind the meeting, and that's a misnomer for the public. I would like to go back for myself having meetings one-on-one, just like Mr. Woodruff stood up here and said, we need to have questions. We need to have a place where individuals can come and ask, say, what is this being spent for and why is this being done? And for the last years, you all have lost that, and I want us to go back to that. I'm just saying, so nobody could say, look like we're breaking the sunshine law. Let's go back to our one-on-ones. If you don't want to do one-on-ones, I will not do a pre-agenda meeting. I will meet with the city manager or whomever he designate, because that's the right way to do government, so that it don't look like we're doing something behind it. And that's why I pulled item B. And the reason I pulled item B was that we are the policymakers of this city. We have been entrusted by the citizens of this city, and for me to read on here the approval of the city attorney. The city attorney is an employee of this city. Somebody needs to explain to me why the city attorney needs to approve something that we need to be approving.
I think the language should be subject to legal review, and I think we've talked about this before.
That's actually what it does say in the resolution matter. So what happens is you approve the approval of the application for the grant, and then when the grant documents come in, my office just reviews them for legal sufficiency, and then they're signed off on.
Thank you, Shauna. With that being said, motion to approve.
So do we change the language in the ordinances going forward? Is that what you're saying, to change it to subject
Yes.
to legal review?
Yes.
Instead, okay.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to D.
D. Right, the reason I had D pulled was where it says that the city manager will be the executor, director of services of Contract Redevelopment Management Association. So I just want the public to know that he is not picking up another check for doing this. This is just something that he's being given a task to do because of his expertise in the field that he works in. So I'm just saying, I don't want nobody to go out thinking that the city manager is being paid an extra check. This is why we need to ask questions, saying that besides his regular salary, he's going to get another salary. This is not what is happening here. And with that being said, I offer a motion that we approve this.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second to approve Resolution R26-038. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to E.
Thank you, Mayor. This is being done because it's in the budget, but I'd like to know for you all to address to me one-on-one. I know you have a copy down there, Mr. Mack, but I need you to address before the public where this money will be coming from and where it will be going. When we start moving money around, I'm just saying the citizens need to know where is this money coming from and why we're moving it, et cetera. I'm just saying because it says, just because staff said recommend approval, that does not mean that as elected officials, we need to approve it. Please explain, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So on this item, we are actually, there's 4 exhibits. Exhibit A. Exhibit A is moving funding from, or we're recognizing funding from for the CRA reimbursement for the 2 beautification and streets technicians that were approved at the end of the budget cycle. We are also appropriating $475,000 from fund balance. That is going to cover a project. It's being transferred to the Capital Improvement Fund 302. That's Exhibit A. Exhibit B is pulling $358,000 from the Cemetery Memorial Fund, and that's going to capital as well to fund the Sarah Sims Cemetery Expansion Project. And then Exhibit C is the 302, is that our capital fund that is funded by the general fund. We're recognizing revenue in the amount of $310,000 from the CRA. The transfer from the general fund and the transfer from the memorial fund in the amount of $1.1 million. And then we're reallocating or recognizing the expenses for the salaries of the CRA project manager in $160,000. Bridge improvements that were done, that are complete, that we're getting reimbursed from the CRA, $50,000 for, I think it's for cameras or feature in Inca. And then the additional funding for parks improvements to cemetery, the $400,000 for Little League and $75,000 for police laptops that was not in the original budget. And then the final one in the 303 fund, we're recognizing, we're pulling $713 from fund balance. $228,000 is going to complete the pay for the Hester Center Improvement Project. That project was closed out inadvertently. The last pay app did not get paid. So we are reallocating, the money went back to fund balance, so we're just reallocating it to this project. And then we're allocating another $485,000 for our ERP project, which is our replacement of our software, the Central Square with Workday and SpryPoint.
Thank you, sir. Do you have a total? I'm just saying that you could state to the people that are still sitting in the audience what that total will be moving around, please.
Yes, sir.
You can do a guesstimation, sir.
Yes. 1.7 million total.
Thank you. See, this is why we need to question things as we sit up here so that people don't think that this commission is just sitting up here rubber stamping things. That is not our job, not mine anyway. Thank you. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We are now moving on to consent bids and purchases over 100,000. If any of my colleagues would like to pull any items, let's
Yes,
begin
Mayor.
tonight.
I would like to pull 7E as well as 7G.
Okay. E and G. Commissioner McCray?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Turkin? Commissioner Kelly?
No, thank you.
7G was mine.
It's already said. Motion to approve the remainder of consent.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. And Commissioner Cruz, would you like to, since you pulled Commissioner, E, I wanted to pull G as well, but you want to move on with E?
Yes.
Yes, Mayor. Dr. Calcutt has a small presentation, but I honestly just wanted to pull this item with the purpose of letting the neighborhood of Sandcastle know, and it's really good news for the city as a whole, the improvements that we're going to be making with this grant funding that we have.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. Congratulations, Commissioner McCray, Commissioner Kelly, and congratulations, Vice Mayor Turkin. I'm Poonam Kalkut. I'm the Utilities Director, and this project is going to be, like Commissioner Cruz said, it's going to be on Sandcastle. And it's an infrastructure mitigation project. The city received $16 million in grant money and has $3.2 million that we are matching in that grant to get, let me see, okay. So that's the area that is under the project. And we are continuing to do some of the area that's not in the project. We're continuing to look for other grant money, and we are working through, we got some appropriations money to work on some of the water and sewer in that area too. But this project is going to be really working on flooding, improving flooding conditions there, so drainage improvements. There's also your streetscaping, as well as aging water and sewer utilities in the area that's going to get worked on with this project. So roadway improvements is part of it. There are some of the, legend shows some of the grading for what the grades being given for some of the roadways in this area. So paving is one of the big parts of this project to improve, and paving is going to improve traffic as well as pedestrian movement. And stormwater system improvements is one of the big reasons for this grant. The grant was from Florida Commerce, and this is a mitigation grant, so it is, a lot of it is covering the drainage portion of it. And then we also have some potable water system improvements. We are using techniques to really improve the life of some of these water mains. And the last thing we're doing is the sanitary sewer improvement that's lining some of the sewer. And the next slide just shows the budget, total project cost, so 19 million in total. And this area has really been sorely in need, and it's, because it's a big, large area, so it's hard for us to do CIP projects without getting some of this grant money. So we are very appreciative of getting this Commerce grant. And this agenda item is bringing on Wade Trim as a consultant to design and engineer this project. I'm here to answer any questions. Also have Kevin here in case you have questions on the paving portion of it, but I can answer questions on any utility portion on it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, now we are moving on to G. Motion
To approve?
We have a motion to approve, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay.
Mayor, excuse me, before we go forward, item A was an item that was tabled on March the 3rd. And for us to act upon that, that should have been removed from the table.
The KO Hills
On
consultant.
the consent.
I remember Andrew wanting to table that. So we never made the proper
He is correct.
procedure to remove
Yes, correct. It does need to be
Remove it from the table to move forward.
He is correct.
So a motion to remove it from the table.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion to remove R26034 from the table. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay.
Motion to approve 7A.
Second.
Second?
We have a motion to approve 7A, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say, And opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. Before we move forward, I want to make a quick comment. It's something that I think has been happening a little bit more frequently recently, but I would appreciate to have, to not have items be added to our agenda the day of the meeting. You know, some of us are working full-time jobs and, you know, for example, the item I'm about to talk about was added around lunchtime. That's when I was informed about it. It was not on the agenda prior to, so I couldn't have clicked on the contract or read any of it. This is a $7 million plus purchase, and although there's positives to it, I think that we need reasonable time to review these things, and not just this item, but in general. We should not be adding anything to the commission meeting agenda the day of the meetings. It's just too soon. And it really reduces transparency in government and our ability to do our jobs in the best way possible. So I just wanted to say that, and I hope that we can change that in the future. And one other thing regarding item 7G, which is what we're going to discuss in a second, I had to find out from one of our residents that apparently there's Fourth Amendment legal challenges, which I was not informed by our legal team. There was nothing, I was not made aware of that, so I just want to ask if it's accurate to say that. Is that true? Is it not true?
I can look real briefly. I did not work on this item, but I will look at it real quick. I'm not aware of any lawsuits or litigation.
So I had the opportunity to speak with representatives of Flock, and, you know, I think it's important to know. I'm going to tell a quick story. A year ago, and then we'll dive into the presentation because I have a lot of questions that were brought up during public comment, and I was able to get a lot of those answered, speaking with representatives of Flock. I'm not sure if they're here tonight or if the police department can talk to them, but first and foremost, I want to note that Boynton Beach has one of the highest violent crime rates in the city. We're the third largest city in the county, yet we rank top 5 for violent crime. I want everyone to sit here and think why that is. Years and years and years and years and years, we've had the reputation that doesn't precede us well. And when I have residents come up to me last year and they're fearful for their lives and they're newborns and they have stray bullets going through their house, and they're coming to me demanding answers, and I don't have any, what do I do? What do I do? As a man, I like to take action. I like to put one foot in front of another, and we do that by shaping policy and providing resources with the police department. And so to kind of piggyback and carry on the conversation I had last night when we had another father come up here and talk about multiple break-ins, you know, in his street, and saying that he moved to the city, you know, 3 years ago and has invested heavily into our neighborhood, paying taxes and trusting our city and our city's representatives, and not just me, but everyone on this dais, to make this a safer community for his family and his wife and his kids. I take that seriously. And so, you know, for me, I'm going to do everything and anything I can to construct ways to identify what we're going to do. Right? I don't have unilateral authority. I don't have the city manager authority, but I do have a voice, and I will utilize that voice as often as possible. And so, you know, when we look at LPRs and we look at technology, one of the things I committed to was innovating our police department and investing in it heavily. And so, you know, I look forward to this presentation, but I don't want us to forget that we do have a real issue if you look at the national standard of violent crime throughout our city. And so we can say we want more officers. That only goes so far. And I'm proud of the work that Chief has done over the last few weeks as far as taking on this difficult task. I know it's not easy to do that, but the police department and the city manager's office rely on us to provide them with the resources that they need. And so I would like to continue the conversation and understand how else can we invest in our community? Because we've been fully staffed now for a few years, and obviously innovation, technology, AI is something that is sweeping every single industry by like through a storm, right? And so we're either going to be innovative or we are going to get left behind. And one of the most expensive things that you can say was, we've always done it that way. Why should we change? If you change nothing, nothing changes. And so I think it's important for this body to look at alternative ways to prevent those conversations of families begging you for answers when they have stray bullets going through their wall, hitting their little child's room. You know, and one story I want to share is that when we had this happen in the Chapel Hill neighborhood last week, it was months and months and months. And the reason we were able to identify who it was, the police department, was that an LPR, I believe in Ocean Ridge, in another town, was able to, and again, if I misspeak, Chief, fill in the gaps, but was able to detect this license plate that was hit coming out of Chapel Hill, right? And connected to our real-time crime center. And so I think that's a perfect example to show that innovation and technology is working. And it's becoming a force multiplier where we're not just relying on officers and boots on the ground. I want as much as we can get, but I think it's if we didn't have one of the highest violent crime rates in the city, you know, maybe this wouldn't be such an urgency. But I think it's important that we invest and we think about these solutions that come before us that show that they work. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is go back to my constituency or any constituent in the city that cried out for a plan. What are you going to do? We've seen all the news articles, and they keep beating the same drum. What are you going to do? What's the plan? What's the plan to tackle on this violent crime? And for me, this is part of the plan. It's not just about, you know, boots on the ground. It's about technology. It's about investment. And I do have a lot of concerns about the surveillance. I did get a lot of good answers. I think the also thing to keynote for the public is, unfortunately, after 9/11, the NSA went wild with surveillance. So if you're worried about surveillance, I recommend you don't get one of these. Because this thing tracks everything you do every single day, where you go, who you're talking to. You know, hell, I was talking about Taco Bell the other day, and Taco Bell ad showed up. So it just goes to show that we are constantly being surveilled. And so I want us to understand that, you know, there's concerns about data retention, and I'll let the chief and Flock talk about that. There's concerns about how that data is used. There's concerns about what it's capturing and any potential litigation. From my understanding, that litigation was actually, I think it was in Virginia, in Norfolk, and Norfolk lost against the company as far as the issue with the Fourth Amendment. And so, you know, I know there's definitely concerns, but I think the biggest concern is if another incident happens and a father or mother loses their child or someone loses their brother and sister, you know, what do I answer to that? You know, if I had an opportunity, you know, to spend a resource, invest in additional technology that could help, you know, resolve a crime and prevent someone from committing a heinous act again, I'll do that 10 times over. Because there is no value, there is no monetary value on life. It is invaluable. You could get $20 million tonight, and if you don't wake up tomorrow, what does that really mean? And so, you know, I do want to move forward with this presentation, and, you know, I owe it to my constituency and my moral compass to do everything I can to, you know, put this forward and make sure that I can go to bed knowing I made an effort to make this city safer, not just by investing in our police department, but investing in the resources that they need.
To answer your question real quick about the litigation, there is a lawsuit currently pending. It was just filed in 2025 in California, Washington, Illinois, and Virginia. And then one federal court has already ruled that they do not violate the Fourth Amendment. But there are no cases currently filed in Florida. But those are the current litigations. They were all just filed within the last few months.
Thank you. And my point, I appreciate everything you're saying, Vice Mayor Turkin. The point that I'm trying to make is that sometimes getting an agenda the day of the vote doesn't give enough time to do the research and ask questions to legal and talk about things that are important. So that's my point. I'm not saying my position on this right now. I'm just saying that, I would like to see things before. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. To Commissioner Cruz's concern, Commissioner, you have the right as an elected official. If you feel like something has been given to you the last minute, you have a right to offer a motion that this be tabled. I don't care who's presenting what. I'm saying until you feel comfortable, if we get enough votes not to move forward, we don't move. That's your right. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to come up and give your presentation briefly?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. Just a little PowerPoint. I'm going to put it up.
Good evening, everyone. John Bonifair, Director of Public Safety. I just want to say that I think it's important to remember, first off and foremost, that this technology that we've been using for approximately 3 years already. So this is not a new technology. All we're asking is an expansion of the technology because we have had a lot of success with it, and we want to see that expansion take place. I just would like you to remember that as we go through the presentation. And of course, we brought representatives from Flock to answer any questions. We also have someone online to answer any legal questions that you might have regarding this issue. So Assistant Chief Couch will now give the presentation.
Again, good evening. Boynton Beach Police Department is proposing the purchase of a comprehensive package that includes several advanced components designed to improve public safety and operational efficiency within the real-time crime center, road patrol operations, and investigative services. So this comprehensive package would be the first in the state of Florida if we were to adopt that. So the city is continuing to modernize public safety as a force multiplier to supplement staffing, increase visibility, and allow officers to be more responsive across the city. If you look over to the left over here, did a comparison of deployments. So on the left here, we have our current deployment, which is 29 Flock LPRs, and we have 18 from Variable Mobility. We currently have a 1.0 mile radius of shot detection, our drone first responder, our DFR, and currently we have no Flock cameras currently deployed. So with this Safe City initiative and deployment, we will be looking at 60 Flock LPRs, 80 cameras, and 18 LPRs from Variable Mobility. There will be a half mile more of radius of shot detection for a total of 1.5. Our upgraded drone first responder, 2 mobile LPR trailers with 1 mobile camera trailer, a premium operating system, 911 integration, and the business camera integration. We're going to have Sergeant Vargas now go through some of our wins, our successes in recent months.
Good evening. Sergeant Vargas, Supervisor of Real-Time Crime Center. Just recently, we've had some really good successes. So the other day, we had a vehicle flee from officers while tossing out narcotics of the vehicle. Members from the RTCC deployed the drone, located the vehicle, and coordinated apprehension of the suspect. RTCC deployed a drone to Foster's Mill after receiving a call for a suicidal subject armed with a knife. The drone arrived first, quickly located the male, observed that he no longer had a knife in his possession, and led officers to him. He was safely taken into custody. Additionally, members of the Detective Bureau were actively working a case where individuals were preying on elderly individuals, pickpocketing them. The vehicle was captured by an LPR, which led the detectives to them. A drone followed, which were able to confirm the identity of the suspects and then they were taken into custody shortly after. Additionally, I believe Vice Mayor Turkin spoke about another case, a case where there was probably 15 or 16 cases of shots fired or shootings took place throughout the county. I believe 4 or 5 took place in Boynton Beach. He was correct in the fact that LPR in Ocean Ridge, I believe the Flock LPR in Ocean Ridge, led to the discovery of the vehicle. That same discovery allowed us as the detectives to follow up. We subsequently located that vehicle and made an arrest. Utilizing the evidence that was inside the vehicle and a followed investigation allowed us to close 16 cases within Palm Beach County and allowed us to work with other agencies to close those cases. All right. This technology is crucial to our success in the Real-Time Crime Center. It allows us to show up faster. We're able to get that information to the officers so they can make better informed decisions. And we're able to allow that information to get to the command staff or get to the supervisors so they can make better decisions.
So, one of the things that actually Vice Mayor Turkin mentioned back in December was collaboration. With the Safe City, it allows collaboration not just within the police department, detective bureau, also allows collaboration within the city as well. There's a lot of technology that's currently being deployed under Safe City that would also benefit development. As a safe city, the city is more attractive to businesses and attractive to builders. We also have as a traffic study analytics that can also help our traffic engineers out in the city. The cameras could improve the security in our facilities to make sure our employees are safe. Also, it can improve the security at our parks to make sure that when people are enjoying the great parks that we're building here in Boynton Beach, they can do it so safely. So there's a lot of collaboration with the Safe City. Today, we brought our Flock representatives. It's Nate Lippert and Jake Downs, and they can go a little bit into just a little bit about Flock and some of the concerns when it comes to our data, which I know it's been a hot topic, and I believe there is somebody online, Trevor, that can answer some of those data questions as well.
And yeah, so I know there was some concern around data and everything. I would like to kind of welcome Trevor Chandler from our public affairs team. He should be online. And Trevor, if you want to, if you can hear us out there and answer some of the data privacy questions, that'd be great.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Trevor Chandler. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for Flock Safety, and happy to answer questions specifically around data privacy. To lead off with, I think it's important to note, Flock does not sell data, does not sell customer data. The contract clearly states that all of the images captured by the cameras are owned by Boynton Beach. It's just very important. Also, just in response to some comments, important to note that Boynton Beach policy has a 30-day retention policy. So all of those images are deleted after 30 days, which is a very important to note. This is not going into a very large database to be used forever and ever. Anything not used for a crime is deleted after 30 days. And another note is all of the data is encrypted to CJIS standards. CJIS is the Criminal Justice Information Services by the FBI. It is something that we take extremely seriously. So those are three main points I wanted to be sure to touch upon, but absolutely happy to answer any questions you might have.
I think important to note too, so we've got over 1,000 deployments through the state of Florida, over 6,000 throughout the country, and there's just under 14,000 cameras that are deployed within the state of Florida. So the network that you're able to access to help kind of be a force multiplier to the police force is really just not something you can compare with any other products that's out there. So happy to answer any questions.
I have a question. It was brought to our attention tonight during public audience that anybody could access this data, this information. Is there any truth to that, sir?
No. So again, Trevor Chandler with Flock. So that's not true. The only people able to access the Flock system are shielded law enforcement officers. The only people that are able to offer access your system are people authorized by your system administrator. I will yield to your officers to detail exactly who they provide access to, but typically it is investigators, police officers, and dispatchers.
Thank you. Do you all have a record that has anyone ever hacked one of your systems? I'm just saying, I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing everything I need to hear.
Absolutely, sir. It's a very important question and a very valid question in the world we live in today. And so the answer is no. Flock has never been hacked, and there has not been a breach. That does not mean we are sitting on our laurels. This is something we take extremely seriously. If you have any technology provider that comes to you saying they're satisfied with their security, you should not hire them. We are never satisfied with our security. We are continually innovating and finding the next best in class to get ahead of bad actors. That includes recently hiring our first ever Chief Information Security Officer. We have also partnered with Bishop Fox, which is a cybersecurity firm that will relentlessly test our systems in an adversarial way to try to find weaknesses that we can then fix. We also have opportunities for anyone in the public who may find a particular weakness to bring it to our attention so that we can then publicly acknowledge it, patch it, and make those changes. But all of that is to say we have not been hacked. There has not been a data breach, but it's not something that we are going to rest on our laurels.
My next question is, have you ever had a city to, said, I don't want your contract anymore?
Yes. So like any company, I don't think a single company retains 100% of its customers every year. Flock has over 6,000 law enforcement agencies as customers, not including our private sector customers. So less than about 0.5% of those customers have chosen not to renew. This is very normal for any business. We, of course, want to keep always 100% of our customers, but in any business, that's not always the case. But we're very proud of our over 6,000 law enforcement agency customers across the country.
Need to ask another question. Was it because of the quality of service, or were they afraid that they was going to be sued? Why did they breach the contract, sir?
It varies from city to city. So for some of them, it's budget problems. They simply couldn't afford it anymore. Some of them had concerns with the federal government, and they didn't want any public safety technology because they feared it possibly, in some hypothetical potential way that the federal government could become involved, which Flock provides protections against. So every city is different, and it varies.
How many in the state of Florida?
I don't have a specific number. Maybe the gentleman there, no, but I'm not aware of very many at all in the state of Florida.
Are you talking about churning? Yeah.
Yes.
As of right now, I do not have that exact number.
Okay, how fast can you all get us that information? I'm just saying, when my take is that when we're doing something like this, has this caliber, and things be tossed on us the last minute, and we have these questions and we can't get answers and go all the way through, I'm just saying it puts a red flag with me. I'm just saying, if there's any been, saying I don't, have to come off the system in Florida, I need to know about it. I'm just saying, so I can make a phone call if I want to and say, why did you do it, or what was the reason? I'm just saying, you all can stand up there and tell us anything that make it sound good, because you're salespeople. But I need some hard data. That's the way I roll. If it's in black and white, I can move on it.
But again, just to reiterate the point, over 6,000 law enforcement agencies across the country, it's less than 20 have turned nationwide. So when you think about that, it's very, even at a national level, very statistically insignificant.
Okay.
I do want to bring a point. If we decide to move forward, I think this commission should create some policies with regard to accountability and to try to prevent any potential misuse or overreach. We want to understand how the system operates. We want to put some safeguards into place and making sure how we could prevent any misuse from being addressed. So if this, like anything, right? Like anything in the world could be used for good or bad things. This data, my understanding is that it reads every single license plate in 2 or 3 lanes potentially, not just targeted license plates per se. Is that correct? Okay. So every single one of the vehicles that drive through wherever we put these at are going to be in our database. There's the potential, not that it's going to happen, but as policymakers, we need to think about these things. You know, we would be able to see the schedule of individuals and where they go and what time and recurring and things of that nature. So what policies can we put into place to make sure that there's no potential abuse of that data, and to make sure that our residents are comfortable in knowing that, like, who's overseeing you, like who's checking and balancing?
Yeah, so we already do have policies and audits in place. We established those when we initially got the product 3 years ago. That was one of our first things, and it also falls in line with our normal accreditation and policy procedures for other databases as well.
Which is, how do we, maybe we'll talk offline later.
Okay.
And I'll ask you more
Well, I can
detailed questions,
give you an example. Like, we conduct regular audits, and we go through and we look at who's looking at what, so we can make sure that there's no misuse of it. We can see so basically we can see everything. So who's looking at what, when they're looking at it, because it is a large responsibility, and there has to be a certain amount of trust. But we also take it seriously and look.
Outside of the department that could look at this, just like, for example, the commission is able to review the city manager and the city attorney. What policies, and maybe it's a question for legal or the commission, what can we put in place to, if we decide to move forward with this, to make the residents comfortable to say, okay, there's somebody overseeing or somebody that can be, just.
No, I don't, if you'd like me to look at a way to have some sort of oversight, I don't think the police department has a problem with that. We just have to make sure that, the things that we're investigating are protected, but otherwise, I think everybody'd be open to that. I don't think there's a problem.
Just want to add something to that, because you mentioned, like, what other databases. So currently we have evidence.com, which runs our body cams, our in-car cameras, our drones. All that information is stored in a cloud-based storage. And when there's audit trails, anybody who touches it, opens it up, looks at it for a half a second, we know. So, and we do audits on that. We also have, through our driver's license and vehicle information database called David, we have the same type of protocols in place to make sure that it's being used properly and not being used outside the actual required state of Florida, prohibitions. So they're luckily, in law enforcement, we have a lot of databases that are highly restricted. There are constant audit trails, and we have pretty much every database we have is a policy to be attached to it.
And my understanding, based on a little research that I was able to do, is that all of these videos would not be subject to public records, correct? Unless it was part of an investigation.
Well, it is subject to public record, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Whatever, we only retain 30 days, right? Just like most of our body cams is a great example. If it meets the exemptions under an active criminal investigation, no, it would not be released. If it's just in there as non-classified information, just like a body cam would be, it is subject to public disclosure, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up to, we're gonna have to look at the budget. And my concern is that when we start spending money like this, I know Vice Mayor Turkin made the statement, you cannot put a price on the value of life. I understand that. But if you don't have the money to spend, there's a value. I need to know, are we already put money aside? And if so, if we get this system, will it increase manpower, or will we be looking at decreasing manpower?
So to answer your question, it'll be effective in the next fiscal year.
Okay.
We currently do spend close to $300,000 with Flock, so it'd be in addition to. It also is coming out of the 103 account. So the dollars that the city receives from school zone speed enforcement cameras and red light cameras are funding these programs. Additionally, school zone speed enforcement cameras funds the crossing guard program. The city receives an additional $5 a NOV for the school zones, for the crossing guards. So next year, the entire crossing guard program, to include the additional guard that we're putting out there this year, will be covered completely with the school zone speed enforcement camera. So the $440,000 that's earmarked for school crossing guards that are in our budget could be used for the school, for the additional monies in flock safety.
Right, Chief, you just made a statement about red light cameras. Broward County has already stated that red light cameras are illegal. I'm just saying, so why should we be depending on red light camera, money? I'm just saying when we might be affected ourselves, I'm just saying.
So the money I'm speaking of is coming from the school zone speed enforcement cameras. For every violation, $5 goes to the crossing guard program. So it goes to us since we run the crossing guard program. The account I was referencing is the 103, which is where the red light and the school zone speed enforcement camera monies get deposited into. But the money that we're talking about specifically is money that is being filtered back to the city through the violations for the school zone speed enforcement cameras.
So the red light camera, let me make sure you're telling me what I need to hear. It has nothing to do with this.
It doesn't have anything to do with this.
But you made a statement, sir. I'm just saying, that's why, when people tell me something, I listen to what you all be saying. Be careful of what you say because I follow you.
Being completely transparent, the monies are from both programs going into that account. And that's the account the money for the flock safety comes out of. So it's violator-based funded programs, not coming out of the general fund.
I have if it's okay, unless somebody else wants to go. Just last question. What's the difference between, and that's why I want to go to the Real-Time Crime Center on Wednesday and actually see it and kind of get some idea of what that looks like. But we have 29 flock license plate readers, but we have no flock cameras at this time. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Based on the
correct. So
presentation.
initially, the chief and I attempted to use the current cameras that we have in the city and expand on that. So they were placed on major intersections, for example, Woodbright in Congress, Boynton Beach Boulevard in Congress, Gateway in Congress, Federal Highway in Woodbright, Seacrest. Pretty much, we tried to nail every major intersection in the city. The problem is the reliabilities of those systems just can't match up to what and it also it drains on our tech services personnel, have to go out there, maintain them. So basically what we're asking is to change those cameras to flock cameras and then add additional cameras throughout the city. Those cameras will primarily be deployed at roadways, major intersections, shopping plazas, that kind of thing. There's not going to be any cameras in any private communities or anything like that. It's there to support our operations on the major thoroughfares and shopping plazas.
I guess the reason for me asking that was, what is the foundational difference between a flock license plate reader and a flock camera? Like what's the big difference?
That's a fair question. Okay, so the flock license plate reader is just simply taking images. That's all it does. A computer then we can then go into the computer and then tell the computer this is what we're looking for, and it gives us those images. Those detectives take those images and then continue to use other databases and follow up on investigations. A camera is basically a pan, tilt, zoom. So I put it on, like for example, Woolbright and Congress, which is in your district. It's set overlooking the intersection, but for example, if something happened at the gas station across the street, I can turn the camera, I can zoom in, I can see what's going on. So if someone were to call 911 and say, hey, somebody's stealing something happened, we can be there within 10 seconds looking and seeing with the image, relaying that information to the officers.
I can see that's how that could be more effective and more efficient for law enforcement. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from my colleagues?
Mayor, real quick, one thing that was brought up also during public comment, but it wasn't talked about, and so I figured the last thing that was a concern of the public was audio recording, and if these cameras are audio adaptable, what that looks like.
The camera themselves are not audio adaptable. They are simply there to record video. That's it.
Okay, so we're not totally eavesdropping on people's backyards and.
No, I think the inference was the shot detection system. So we can set the shot detection system to notify us when there's fireworks, if there's drag racing, and if there's shots fired. And we have more than enough data. I can show you all the things. And it basically triangulates the position, and dispatch alerts the officers that shots have been fired, and the officers respond to the scene in a really quick manner, which is what you want.
Thank you. And I think, Commissioner McCray, you briefly, and I think this was what you were trying to get at, and actually I've spoken to legal about this last week when it came out. In Broward County, there was a case where a woman, she got a red light camera. She took it all the way just to the circuit judge, and it still has a lot of movement to make it through. If it gets appealed, then to see if that judge's decision really holds true. But there is a concern that if in our environment now, if that order is upheld and red light cameras are deemed to be unconstitutional and we have to reevaluate our system, where then, or what is your, and this is like in a thinking years down the line, but when you're looking at a 10-year contract, it's something we have to talk about because, this case law, it may take 4 years before you get through an appeals court and a Supreme Court and all that, if that's what it goes down. What then is the contingency plan when that funding source is gone? And so I think that was Commissioner McCray's point, was kind of, we're depending on this income and we're depending on the school zone cameras. There's also legislation that's pending up in Tallahassee right now on the school zone cameras, where they may change the timing, which may change potentially that funding source as well to the city. And so I think that going into this, because it is a 10-year contract and it is a big ticket, I have concerns with where that funding source would come from and what the contingency plan is, especially with the school, and more concerning with the school zone camera legislation that is pending, sitting on the governor's desk waiting to be signed, that restricts the timing of those cameras. So can you just touch on that?
Absolutely. So obviously, a huge concern, right, if we lose the school zone speed enforcement cameras, not just for the revenue, but obviously for the presence alone, to include the red light cameras. We see in our city a reduction in crashes. However, as we know, things can change and we have to be able to adapt to it. I mean, in the short term, we do have the opportunities to look for grants, but more specifically, we do have monies from forfeiture. We do have monies from donation accounts. We have our police impact fee, which, depending on what specifically we're talking about in their contract, can be used. For example, the drone can be used for the purchase of it because that's a capital expense. So it becomes those alternate sources of not revenue, but alternate sources of dollars that's going to help us to sustain that. But to be quite frank with you all, is if we did lose both those programs, there'd be a lot more problems than trying to fund the flock program.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and so to that point, Chief, what is in this agreement is barring, let's say it's out of our control, right? It's out of our control. Red light cameras are gone, or there's some restriction on cameras or whatever. What is our fail-safe in this agreement that gives us the ability to modify or cancel if it comes down to we're a city who can no longer do this, or this is no longer a priority because we have lost property tax funding, we have lost red light camera funding, we have lost school zone camera funding. And I see Shauna raising her finger like she has an answer too. So I'm happy to hear from both, though. I really want to know from, from both Flock as well as from our legal team, what is our protection when it comes to this?
Sure. Good evening, Stacy Wenger, Deputy City Attorney. So with respect to the multi-year contract, under Florida law, municipalities are able to enter into multi-year agreements, but they are contingent upon an annual appropriation of funding. So if in the future red light cameras or that funding source is eliminated, the Florida Constitution has provisions related to municipal indebtedness, and if we do not appropriate funding for this purpose, then that can be addressed contractually.
Okay, thank you. And then, but what, if that happens, and I'm saying this because I think I had this conversation with John, who then is on the hook for the removal of all of the equipment? If that happens, I mean, this is in a complete, like, I don't anticipate this happening. I don't anticipate the city ever being in a predicament like this. But what then, who pays that bill to then undo it all? And, you know, how does that work?
Yes, so that would be included in the contract, right? If you don't renew it at some point, right, we come out, we take our technology back, and we take the cameras back at no cost to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Great questions, Commissioner Kelly.
Yeah, fantastic presentation.
I have one question. So back to the access for review. So walk me through on who has the access to review this, how many people, what's done when there's a transition or if there's a turnover. I know that typically the department will shift positions if there's promotions, or every so often get different people in different roles. And so I know that there's audits and everything, and I think Commissioner Cruz brought up a great point about who audits the police department. I think there's a lot of opportunities to do, you know, ILAs with different departments. You have the Public Corruptions Task Force. You have the Attorney General's Office to rely on, you know, some of these potential processes. But internally, what is the process of identifying who gets the access and why do they get the access? And if that is something that we're looking at keeping within the RTCC and keeping those same individuals, or is there going to be a continuance revolving door on that access? Does that make sense?
Okay, so the access you're talking about can take several different forms. So if you look at the single plate of glass that we have the Flock operating system on, it essentially is a map of the city. And within that map of the city are icons of cameras and license plate readers and shock detection systems. So, for example, if an officer on the street or a supervisor in the station wanted to look beyond just the real-time crime center looking at the camera, which may happen in the off hours between 1 and 7 when the real-time crime center is not manned, a sergeant could go on there and look, open up one of those video cameras and act as almost a mini real-time crime center. So they can look and see those video images or type a license plate in or do whatever. So at the basic level, all sworn personnel have the access to include dispatchers. So if dispatcher's up there, so you can imagine an officer in a car responding to a scene, a dispatcher has the time and a desktop and a large monitor and can look at all those things and relay that information to officers. So you have officers, you have dispatchers, and then you have crime analysts. Those are the only individuals in our agency at this time that have access.
And how often are those audits conducted? And then, you know, if there was reasoning for any foul play, nefarious activity, is that something that triggers an IA investigation, or does that get outsourced to a different department for accountability purposes? Because I think that's the concern is, and like, I doubt this is gonna happen, but all it takes is like one person to get upset, right? At Commissioner Turkin, Commissioner Cruz, the mayor, whoever, right? And then now you have this ability to do X, Y, and Z, let alone city staff, residents that maybe, you know, there's a problem, you know, they have an issue with. So I just want to make sure that this isn't taken lightly and that abuse of the system you got to put, I hate to say this, but you have to instill fear of abuse of the system is just my only hesitation. Outside of that, I'm good to go. I'll make a motion, but I just want to make sure that I don't want to say punishment, but like the response is severe. It's not just a slap on the wrist. We're going to do this IA for 4 to 6 weeks, figure it out, you'll be fine, whatever. No, I want to make sure that if that person is maliciously utilizing taxpayer dollars to do anything nefarious or with malice intent, that it's treated appropriately.
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned earlier, having sensitive data is not foreign to law enforcement. We have multiple databases. And also, there's a lot of consequences when you misuse the data, not just when it comes to internal affairs, but also criminal charges, sanctions as well. So it depends on the severity of the breach, depending on, and like you mentioned about going into a system and accessing it for personal reasons, right? That's obviously prohibited. It's prohibited in all our databases to include our NCIC, FCIC, or David I just mentioned, which are our drivers and vehicle. So those consequences come with that access that they already have. So it basically would just be including another database that, if used inappropriately, would be subjected to an internal affairs investigation. And like I mentioned, depends on the severity of it, could lead anywhere to termination or a criminal charge.
Okay.
The only difference that I wanted to, and you made excellent points. Very good. The last point I want to make, just the difference between the other databases that the police department is using and this one would be that the other one specifically targeting specific license plates. This one would be able to record everybody that goes in the road. So that's why it just creates that open can of worms. And that's why I think we're being a little bit more stringent than we usually are with this.
And we currently have LPRs, so that same information, it's already been happening. We've had it for the last 2 years.
And red light cameras.
And the red light cameras captures
That
basically the
captures
same,
video.
and the school zone.
Yeah.
So we're capturing very similar information. there's nothing that we're getting in the Safe City that's different than we already have.
It's just more.
It's just more correct.
I did just want to add as well, like, when a detective or an officer or anybody is doing a search inside of our system, they have to have a case number, they have to have a reason for that search, and there are a lot of those parameters before they can even hit that button to search something. So again, when they do pull those audit logs, they can see exactly why the detective was pulling it, for what reason, and what case it was actually tied to as well. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've discussed this enough.
Yes. I do want to, just for the record, I would like to review the contract with city legal before I vote on this, but I think that a lot of our concerns are being responded to in a favorable way. But there's a few things that I want to talk to legal about before I move forward, at least for me. Again, this was added today at the agenda around lunchtime, and I didn't have the time. I get off work at 5 and drove straight here, so, yeah.
I'm okay to move forward, and I'll just go ahead and make the motion to approve item 7G.
Do we have a second? Okay, motion dies.
Just for clarification,
Do we
do you
table
want
the
to
item?
table it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion
Or
next
do you want
meeting.
it to die?
No, motion to
Table it to
table.
next meeting.
Okay,
Motion
so we
to
need a
table.
motion
Motion to table until the next city
April
commission
3rd.
meeting. April 3rd.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion to table, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion passes 4-1. Moving on, we have several public hearing items. Public comment will be permitted. Items 8A through 8D, all related to the Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery property located at 201 Northwest 9th Court, and will be heard together for purposes and presentation. However, for the record, item 8A is a legislative public hearing. Items 8B, C, and D are quasi-judicial, so quasi-judicial procedures will apply only to those items. This is a second reading of items 8A and B, but the first readings of items 8C and D. Items 8C and D were tabled at the last meeting until the second reading of the companion rezoning ordinances. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to remove items 8C and D from the table?
So moved.
We have a second?
Wait a minute, because there's another one. You said C and D, but it's C and D second.
We have a motion and we have a second to remove items 8C and D from the table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. I will now turn to the clerk to swear in anyone here to speak on items 8B through D.
Anyone who's here to speak on items 8B, 8C, and D, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please be seated.
If each commissioner can please make any disclosures regarding items 8B through D. At this time, we will start with Vice Mayor Turkin.
I have none.
Commissioner Kelly?
Regarding these items, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner McCray?
How would I handle that? I had comments and met with them prior to me becoming a commissioner. Do I have to say I had anything? Shauna? I was just a regular citizen. Nope.
Let's do Commissioner Cruz. Let me just look real quick, okay?
8B through D.
I have not had any expert communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit or received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
I'll keep moving while you're looking that up, Shauna. Regarding items 8B through D, I have not had any ex parte communication, have not received written communication, have not conducted investigation, have not made a site visit, have not received expert opinions. I request that all these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record.
It would be from when you took office.
Okay. So do you want to read in?
I have not. Got to read all this?
Yeah.
Regarding the items, I have not had any expert communication, have not received written communication, have not conducted an investigation, have not made a site visit, have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made a part of this record.
Okay, I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8A through D into the record, please.
Proposed ordinance 26006, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 89-38 by amending the future land use map of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, for an approximate .94 acre parcel of real property generally located at 201 Northwest 9th Court by changing the future land use classification from medium-density residential to public and private government institutional, declaring that the proposed amendment to the future land use map to be consistent with all other elements of the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Proposed ordinance number 2607, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 02-013 to rezone approximate .94 acre parcel of real property located at 201 Northwest 9th Court from a single to two-family residential to public usage district, declaring the proposed amendment to be consistent with the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. 8C, approve the request for a variance from Part 3, Chapter 4, Article 2, Section 4.B.3.c, parentheses 2, Table 4-4, urban landscape buffer to remove the requirement of a 6-foot concrete wall within the required buffer on the property located at 201 Northwest 9th Court in a public utility zoning district. 8D, approve the request for a major site plan to the Saracens Memorial Cemetery project to allow for a proposed cemetery expansion and site improvements on a 2.76 acre parcel located at 201 Northwest 9th Court in the public usage zoning district. Applicant, City of Boynton Beach.
Staff, you can begin your presentation on items 8A through D, please.
Mayor, Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. This is the second reading. There wasn't any changes from staffs, but we are going to answer questions, or we can go into the full presentation again.
Good. No, any questions or comments from the commission?
Commissioner McCray, do you want to?
I need
do you want to see the
presentation.
yes.
I don't think it was in the backup for these. It's on the shared drive.
So can we make sure that
Well,
presentations are in the backup?
Go ahead.
We can add those, Vice Mayor. One of the issues that I've known from just experience is prior to the meetings, if that does change, when we do have the pre-meeting for this one, sometimes there's questions that do arise, that staff does need to update that presentation, so what was previously been added to the packet won't be valid anymore, but it can still be something that is added at the commission's direction.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm in favor of going ahead with this because I'm just saying we cannot continue to keep putting the cemetery off. And I'm just saying because we had a young man who passed this week and they was looking for a space and they could not find one and they could not believe he was out of space. So we don't need to do anything that's going to hinder the moving forward of this project.
Understood, Commissioner. And the city staff is also here to answer any specific questions for it. This is the Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery. It's for a future land use map amendment, rezoning, a variance, and the site plan.
Motion to approve items A, B, C, and D.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have to do them one at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Boy, I'm trying to get us out of here.
I know. Okay.
Motion to approve item A.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. We'll turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Excellent.
Motion to approve item proposed ordinance number 26-007 upon second reading.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
We have a motion to approve item 8C relating to the variance.
Approve request for a variance from Part 3, Chapter 4, Article 2.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Let's go to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve item 8D relating to the major site plan modification.
Motion to approve major site plan modification.
Second.
A motion and we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Items 8E through 8I relate to the property located at 3045 North Federal Highway and will be heard together for purpose of presentation. However, for the record, items 8E and F are legislative public hearings. Items 8G, 8H, 8I are quasi-judicial, so quasi-judicial procedures only apply to those items. This is a second reading for items 8E, F, and G, but the first readings of items 8H and I. Items 8H and I were tabled at the last meeting until the second reading of the companion rezoning ordinances. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to remove items 8H and I from the table?
So moved.
Move second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of removing these items from the table, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. I will now turn to the clerk to swear anyone here to speak on items 8G, 8H, 8I.
Anyone who is here to speak on items 8G, 8H, and 8I, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated.
If each commissioner can make any disclosures regarding items 8G, 8H, and 8I at this time, we'll start on my right with Commissioner Cruz.
Regarding these items, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Vice Mayor Turkin? None. Commissioner Kelly?
Regarding these items, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner McCray?
Thank you. I have not had any ex parte communication, have not received written communication, have not conducted an investigation, have not made a site visit, have not received expert opinion. I request that these disclosures and any written communications be made part of this record.
Regarding items 8G, 8H, and 8I, have not had any ex parte communication, have not received written communication, have not conducted an investigation, have not made a site visit, have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record. I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8E through 8I into the record, please.
Proposed ordinance number 26-001, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, voluntarily annexing approximately .91 acres of unincorporated territory into the corporate limits of the city pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, providing for the annexation of the property described herein, providing publication of notice and proposed annexation, directing the city clerk to record this ordinance with the clerk of the circuit court, with the chief administrative officer of Palm Beach County, and with the Department of State, providing a business impact estimate, providing for codification, conflicts of variability, and an effective date. Proposed ordinance number 260-008, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 89-38 by amending the future land use map of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida for approximately .91 acre parcel of real property generally located at 3045 North Federal Highway by changing the future land use classification from Palm Beach County future land use designation of commercial high with a underlying MR5 to special high-density residential, declaring the proposed amendment to the future land use map to be consistent with all other elements of the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Proposed ordinance number 26-009, a second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 02-013 to rezone the proximity .91 acre parcel of real property located at 3045 North Federal Highway from Palm Beach County's General Commercial District to City of Boynton Beach infill planned unit development, declaring the proposed amendment to be consistent with the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. 8H, approve the request of the new major site plan for the hammocks at the Boynton Beach project to allow for the construction of 2 duplexes and 1 sixplex outdoor kitchen, pool, cabana, and other site improvements on .9 acre parcel located at 3045 North Federal Highway in the infill planned unit development zoning district. 8I, approve the request for a new major site plan for the hammocks at Boynton Beach project to allow for the construction of two duplexes and 1 sixplex outdoor kitchen, pool, cabana, and other site improvements on a .91 acre parcel located at 3045 North Federal Highway, infill planned unit development zoning district.
Staff, you may begin your presentation on items 8E through I.
Mayor Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. This is also second reading. The initial presentation did not change. Staff is here to answer questions as well as the applicant, or we can do a full presentation.
I'm good.
Okay. Any comments or questions from any of the other commission members? Public comment will be permitted at this time, once for all 3 of these items. Anyone here to speak in public comment? Going once? Okay. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-001 on second reading?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve, and we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. 8F, if there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-008 on second reading?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-009 on second reading? Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second on
Giving somebody else a
26-009. Let's
chance.
turn to the clerk for roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve 8H relating to the new major master plan?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve 8I relating to the new major site plan?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner McCray?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
And a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
A new item, I'll turn to the clerk to read item 8J into the record, please.
Can we pause 1 second? I don't think we did public comment on items 8A through D.
Oh,
So if we could just have public comment on that at this time?
anyone public comment? No? Public comment?
Or before it die.
Is that on here? Okay. Back to item 8J.
Proposed ordinance number 26-010, first reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 1, Article 2, definitions, Chapter 1, Article 7, Section 2, Director of Planning and Zoning, Chapter 1, Article 9, Section 6, posting of notice, Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 2, types of land development applications, Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 3, review the process of applications requiring public hearings generally, Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2, Standard Applications, Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 4, Relief Applications, Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 7, Other Applications, Chapter 2, Article 3, Section 4, Right-of-Way Permit, Chapter 3, Article 1, Section 2, Scope, Chapter 4, Article 4, Section 5, Community Design, Chapter 4, Article 5, Section 2, Standards, and Chapter 4, Article 4, Section 4, Standards of Land Development Regulations to remove outdated advisory board references, modify off-street parking standards, and update certain feather banner procedural requirements, providing for codification, conflicts, variability, and an effective date.
Thank you. I know, that's a lot. This is the first reading for this item. Staff, do you have a presentation?
Yes, we do. Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. And while that does seem like several changes, it is covering just 3 topics. So we'll go through the presentation. Again, the overview on this, the updates to land development regulations are to amend various sections of the land development regulations in order to, 1, remove references to the Planning and Development Board. It is no longer a city advisory board in updating language and code. Modify off-street parking requirements to allow for additional surface area when certain permeable materials are being used, and remove certain fee and deposit requirements for temporary feather banner signs. Next couple of slides will go into a little bit more detail of each one. So in the First Amendment in Attachment 1 is remove those references from the Planning and Development Board. In 2023, the Planning and Development Board was removed as being one of the city's advisory boards, yet many places in land development regulations still included this reference. So this is a cleanup of those items. The amendments in Attachment 2 relate to the driveways and other impervious surfaces for single-family and two-family dwelling units. It does allow for certain percentages to be permeable surfaces up to an additional 55%. It says 50, I had to double check. Language is also proposed to address the irregularly shaped lots. Oftentimes, you might have a very wide driveway or very narrow driveway, depending on if you're a cul-de-sac or not. So this clarifies that we would use just the average width of the lot. The amendments in Attachment 3 to remove fee and deposit requirements for temporary feather banner signs. Currently, those are addressed through the permitting process. However, it's a struggle for staff to do the collection of a fee that can be refunded within a certain amount of time. That often isn't sought, but then 6 months later, someone may be able to try to seek it when it's no longer applicable. And staff does recommend approval of these amendments to the land development regulations.
Thank you. In regards to feather banners, how long can they stay out? I know they're temporary, but how long can a person keep a feather banner outside?
Those are 30 days currently, and how they have been, after that 30-day mark, they submit the evidence that they've been removed, and they would get a refund of it. However, it's not, most of them don't do that, so it ends up being a code enforcement case anyway.
30 days, thank you.
Any comments or questions from the commission before we go to public comment? Okay. Public comment started. If anybody would like to speak, please come down.
Thank you, Mr. Jean Rizicki. Thank you, Mr. McCray, for asking about that surveillance program. It seemed like sometimes things are suggested, and I don't know if anybody ever thinks about it or just accepts it. Anyway, in this part, I'd like to find out more about the right-of-way permit, what it means. You may know, but I would like to know what it means. And modify off-street parking standards. Because of what's going on in Boynton, I'm affected because I'm going to have to, and also the width of the lot, because I'm going to have to add a driveway, because I have a sidewalk and I have a regular, I can't park double. So I'm gonna have to add an additional on my side swale area, my side area of my property. I would like to know how this is going to affect me. I don't know what it means. Because a lot of people are going to have to add driveways because of the new rulings.
Is there someone from staff that can please assist?
I think this helps with that, is my understanding. It makes it easier. Yeah.
So currently, code requires that you can have a maximum of 40% of your front yard coverage. When planning and zoning is looking at that driveway permit, it's from the front property line to whatever setback of that zoning designation and the width of the lot. A standard platted lot is 75-foot wide, the 25-foot setback, and that's where we would calculate the front yard area. Currently, that's only, again, maximum of 40%. This allocation says that if you can have permeable material, being pavers or something else in that property, that you can actually get up to an additional, and I want to double check those numbers because I believe it was 55%.
It's 55.
Okay, the reason why that number was actually selected is because doing the math on it, that is actually a 10-foot by 25-foot square foot area, which is standard parking lot, or parking stall, excuse me. So we did do the math on that one to make sure that we weren't trying to make an arbitrary number, but it was 55% to allow for that increase. So it would be one width of a car on the property that somebody could do without going over those requirements and still meeting all the intent of code.
Thank you. And if you do have any other questions, we can actually have I'm sorry, I'm forget, Ruzicki, we can have somebody sit down and talk to you in person.
Thank you.
Any other public comment at this time? If nothing else, do we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-010?
So move.
Second?
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCray? No, I'm sorry, Commissioner McCray?
Yay.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
A roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
New item, I will turn to the clerk to read item 8K.
Proposed ordinance number 26011, first reading, an ordinance of the Commission of City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 3, Article 3, Section 5C, Building and Site Regulations, and Chapter 4, Article 9, Section 6, Historic Preservation Requirements to remove all references to potentially significant sites and the list of potentially significant sites, providing for codification, conflict severability, and an effective date.
Any comments from the commission before we go to public comment? Or any questions?
there a
Our staff,
presentation?
do you have a presentation?
Yeah.
Yes, we have a presentation. Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. So this is for some historic preservation LDR amendments, and I'll go into more detail of what they are and what they are not. What staff is proposing is to remove currently in code, if you've been able to look at the actual strike through the language, one area calls out list of potentially significant sites, while in another area it just calls it potentially significant sites. The stated language treats any site that would be on those lists as part of that, what a historically designated structure would be, meaning that if they're trying to do a demo permit or anything like that, they're subject to the same standards as a historically designated house structure. Staff wants to emphasize this proposal is not in any way to remove any such a list of potentially significant sites within the city, nor is it to remove historical designations within the city. This is only to remove this language within land development and regulations that any of those properties that have not sought historic designation and are not subject to the same rules and guidelines as a structure that has been designated. Again, the additional requirements on a property owner who does not intend to seek the designation poses for those future development of property owners, such as redevelopment, demo permits, things like that. Because the code currently requires a potentially significant or on this list of potentially significant sites to comply certain historic preservation regulations, they can inadvertently apply to the property owners. And in some cases, it can actually hurt the building department for being able to act on unsafe buildings the way that it's structured in the land development regulations. Again, we're proposing to remove this language from the LDRs to reinforce the city's commission's direction from a 2024 hearing that property owners should seek out their historic designation in the city, not actually imposing additional restrictions on houses or structures that do not wish to seek it. Properties that are merely identified on the potentially significant should not be subject to those additional guidelines and requirements. Staff does continue to educate and allow and promote that path to become historically designated if a property owner so wishes. Again, staff does recommend this change, and just to assure again, this is not a removal of historic designation within the LDRs. This is to clear up the language of a potentially significant versus a designated historic building or structure.
Yeah. Any questions or comments from the commission? Public comment is now opened. If anyone would like to speak, please come down. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-011 on the first reading? Okay. We do not have a motion. And that is it. Does anyone have any final comments?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In regards to city manager's report, okay, we have a city manager, a deputy city manager, and 2 assistant city managers. And I feel like they should be able to bring a report back to this body for the public to hear about what's happening in their departments. We have too many departments that need to be presented, and don't have to be at the end. I'm just saying, when we're paying money for city managers that we're paying, they should have something to say to us. I'm sorry, I just can't sit up here and say,
I'm glad you brought that up because I've been asking that time and time again, and it doesn't happen or he doesn't get on there. I don't even care if it's like one slide.
That's
Give
what
us
I'm
something.
saying. That's
Give
what
us
I'm-
something. People are making hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yes.
a year. Give me something, and even if that's a legal update, even if that's from Public Works, even if we paved this road, we paved that road, we renewed this park, that's important to know, and it also becomes memorialized on our website and on YouTube. And so if people want to go back and do research, or for the city's sake, to say that they completed something, then they have the ability to pull that from the record. Was that all you had, Commissioner McCray?
Thank you. I'm glad you said something because I'm just saying I would attend the chamber, and the gentleman that's sitting out that does he's right there. He did an excellent report in less than 5 minutes. I'm just saying something like that needs to find out, what do you do with Public Works? Who pick up the trash? I'm just saying, this is what people need to know. This is how we're spending your money.
Yeah, agreed.
Right.
And then the other thing is, I don't know, it wasn't on this agenda. Are they going to do in April with all the additional board appointments with like Cobra, the MPO, and all those other things? That's in April? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I have one future agenda item that needs to be added, and that is all playgrounds here in this city. Please give us an updated safety report on all of them. And I'm just saying, and I don't need you to wait until a couple weeks down the road. This could be done at the next commission meeting because the law states that you need to have it anyway. So I expect to have one next week, next time we have commission meeting.
Commissioner, we may have some existing safety reports. We do have a new risk manager, and I know that's one of the things they've been doing, but I will certainly work with him to either get you the ones we have or get the ones updated.
Not only for me, Shauna, for everybody sitting up here. They need to know it.
Okay, are there any other final comments for tonight? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
We have a motion to adjourn, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion, all those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously with no further business discussed. The meeting is adjourned at 9:10 p.m.